Oh, time to be inappropriate.
We're back.
Oh, cool, we're back. Okay, sorry for interruption. Michelle's either walking on snow or hot coals. I'm not too sure which one. Snow?
Snow.
No?
I needed my
like,
wine.
Like informer snow? Too young to know what that is.
Okay. What did you say?
I said like snow, like informer, but I
don't know what that is.
No, you're too
I'm
young.
not old like you. I don't know what that is.
You know that's just going to be audio porn for dudes, Michelle, right? Like
oh,
the
that
dude
is not what I sound like
that
you at
booted
all.
out
Like,
of the messenger group is going to listen to that podcast.
That is not what I sound like in bed,
again.
okay? Like, first of all, no. Second of all, nah. These are water shoes. I'm fucking wearing these in. I am cold. Oh.
What water shoes? So confused.
Me too.
They're shoes that you can wear at the beach.
Yeah. You know,
so that when you're walking in the warm. So that they're shoes that you wear at the beach.
Yeah, like surf
in
shoes.
The hot
you know,
tub.
like dudes walk in at Freshie, like with their like the flipper socks and all that shit on.
Yeah. So like that you don't so you don't step on rocks and shit, basically.
I just thought
yes, this will. Oh, so much better.
As soon as Michelle's okay, we can keep going.
I am fine. I am in 100-degree hot tub. I am fine.
Yeah, well, it's like 110 where we are right now. Oh no, Beck's in
it's
Queensland.
fine. It's like -3 here, so I mean, you know, like it's cold and there's snow. So I'm just gonna.
So guys, we have our second guest. Okay, so Jazzy,
to be honest,
give us a bit of introduction because I've only been training with you for a little bit now, and I've only kind of really asked you like, how long you've been training at. So I train at Sydney Jiu-Jitsu Academy over in Brookvale here in the Northern Beaches, and so does Jazz. So how did you find it? First of all, like and have you only trained with like Kevin and Megan there at Brookie or?
I'm glad you actually
because you're a blue belt.
Yeah, little baby blue.
Yeah. Baby blue.
When did you get it? When did you get your blue?
Oh God, I knew I should have looked this up. I knew you'd say, introduce yourself. God, it was recently. It was just before the most recent lockdown.
Okay.
So maybe
like mid-year grading, sort of like just before our end of June lockdown.
May. End of May.
End of May.
That is new.
Yeah, but I've been training, God, a few years ago now. But it wasn't let's think about this. I think it was like 3, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, 3, maybe 4 years ago. I started up, and it's because I used to I work with kids like at a before and after school care. And so I'd walk like 10 of them down to their class that was like down the road from their school. And then I'd send them in, and they used to make them want to like hop on the mats and tie them belts themselves. So I'd like stick my head around the corner and check that they were fine. And I'd see them all like hopping on, being real nervous. So I'd like chat to the people there and make sure they're okay. And they eventually were like, oh, you should come and join. And I was like, no. I couldn't deal with people touching me like that and, sticking their feet and their asses in my face. And then they were like, does that not sound like a good Saturday morning? And I was like, yeah, you're right. Why not?
And so was that at Kevin's at Brookvale?
It was when they was Narrowena, and Professor Vince.
They're at Narrowena?
Yeah, just by the primary schools.
Oh, okay. Not Narrowena.
No, I started up. So Brookvale, that gym used to be up at Narrowena. We moved down to Brookvale. Can't remember why we had to move. And then we moved a second time, like literally down the road, and that's when you joined at this academy.
Oh, okay. Because that place now used to be white collar boxing, I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
And they've since moved. Okay. I'm wondering if it was because like Kevin got the mechanic shop as well, and he's like toys and jiu-jitsu.
Yeah. It's like if he's not on the mats, he's downstairs with his toys.
Yeah, there's an auto like mechanics like downstairs and attached to the gym. So the owner Kevin, he's like he's got all his cars down there, and he's got like boys working on cars and stuff. And he's like, yes, toys and jiu-jitsu. How can I get any better?
That just sounds fun.
Ever leaves.
What's
I
right?
think if he got brought to him, I doubt he would ever leave that place.
Yeah, Megan has to come get him at the end of the day.
Exactly. Perfect man cave situation. So yeah, what was I gonna say?
Kind of sounds like a perfect man cave, man. I'm jealous a little bit.
They just need
Yeah,
video
well,
games in
barely
the
count
corner.
up
It'll be
when-
fine.
During lockdown, he's just posting on Facebook all his updates with his magazines and everything down there, and I was like, I would not be coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I mainly train there at Brookvale. Recently, I've been sneaking off and joining some classes at Narrabeen. That's why I haven't seen. I know you've been missing me, beating you up, but
Narrabeen is actually like right down the road from my house.
it's closer to my house than it is Brookvale. But I don't know why
Me
I've not
too,
been there.
technically.
Okay, do you ever train there?
I have in the past, but like I came to Brookvale because that's where all like the brown belts and color belts are.
Yeah, there is quite a few down there, but it's nice switching it up, to be honest.
Let me know when you go down there next.
I'm going down there tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Oh, he's
Fine.
scared of you already. Oh my
Another
god,
time.
and you just
Another
got
time.
your blue belt.
Exactly. I'm switching it up to give
Another
you a
time.
bit of
No.
a break. I don't want to be all the time. It'll discourage you. You
No,
know
I've
how
only
it
been
is.
going Tuesdays anyway at the moment.
And running a Wednesday class. How did that go?
Yeah, grats on that, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Told you they'd be begging for you to teach for them.
Is he gone? Is he doing?
No, someone's interrupting me.
Rude.
Give them all the alerts that that you're doing a podcast, but they still need to come. Doesn't matter. It's all good. Best intentions. Wait. I can't remember. I'm sorry. Teaching, yes, I did get to teach, but Jazz got invited to an award ceremony instead and couldn't make it.
Yeah, that's right. They had their local business awards. They won most outstanding new business, which was crazy cool. But I think they had a spare seat, and so they were like, "Oh, do you want to come along with all like the professors and the coaches?" And I was like, "Hell yes!" And then she continued and said, "Free drinks, free food." And I said, "I'm already in. Sign me up." So it was amazing. But I was so pissed I missed out on your class. So you'll have to let me know if you're going to teach again, because you
I
also
think so.
taught them not my favorite move to pull. So now if everyone knows the defense, I'm going to be mad.
I didn't teach the defense.
I'm really upset that you missed his class, because I feel like we needed more women to just go and torture and torment Andre. Andre, do you want to explain what happened in that class for everyone who doesn't know? Because I think it's fantastic.
What?
Thanks, Michelle.
You're
So
welcome.
the counter throw that I taught.
Speak your truth.
The counter throw that I taught off the single leg. It's an overhook belt grab to sacrifice some Magashi. And Michelle's been threatening me with it for ages. I'm like, still know that move. Don't worry about it. And then I'm sitting there going, I haven't done that since 2013. Okay, don't tell Michelle that. Just go in and teach it, because it works really well with what you're doing to get to mount to hit the bow and arrow. So I'm just like, okay. So I'm sitting there before class, just like throwing Joey. I'm like, okay, I feel pretty confident with this. No way she's ever going to catch me with this shit. I can shoot singles all day, bro. And I ended up telling the class, because my ADD brain will sometimes go on a tangent and be like, this is why I'm doing this, why I'm doing this. And I'm going, I know this bitch who's been threatening me for a while, so I have to teach it and learn and like just get the mechanics down pat. 'Cause it's been, almost 10 years since I've worked it. And then the class all the girls pissed themselves laughing. There was like,
what exactly did you say to them?
Oh, sweet.
I did.
They'll probably
That.
like the podcast then.
Yeah, probably exactly that. I was like, I have to learn this because fucking asshole from Canada has been threatening me.
No,
Did you tell them it was a blind woman that was threatening you, or did you like try to be like, yeah, this really big dude who could probably kick my ass? Like, did you know what I mean? Did you tell them the truth, or did you try to say fake?
I
We can send
pretty much said all the truths except the blind bit.
Oh, well, it's gonna be even funnier when it comes.
Forgot.
It's gonna be even
Doesn't-
funnier.
We knew we can support from afar. That's why. The women there, I'm gonna have to find out who's lucky enough to go.
Oh, I can't remember. Three white belt girls, but one of them was I want to say Laura. I think her son trains there as well.
Killing it. Yeah, I look after her kids at my work, and every single time she picks them
nice.
up when stepping on the mats, and she finally did. She is a weapon already.
She was getting it easily. Like,
Yeah.
we barely had to check on her.
Super cool. I was like, no wonder you're so good with your kids. It's like years of having kids crawling all over you and watching their classes has paid off.
Oh my God. Some of the most stressful things I've ever done was teach the kids classes. I did that at my old gym. I used to teach the family class regularly. And one of the other black belt guys, it was a mate of mine, he would purposely see how stressed out I'm getting and then encourage them to misbehave. And then I lose it. I'm like, okay, it's 5:50, you're supposed to go to 6. I'm like, class is over, everyone get out.
Yeah.
I'm like, early mark.
Oh my God. What a bad influence. Oh,
You've taught the kids before, haven't you, Jazz?
no, they asked me to, but I like my work. Like, I'm up there at an after school care, so the classes are all while I'm working.
Oh,
I love
okay.
it. See them after the women's class on a Saturday morning, and all the coaches are there with pool noodles, like whacking them, getting them to dodge it. I'm just like, where? Sign me up for this class. You didn't tell me I could hit children with pool noodles.
That was the best part of teaching kids classes. Well, you don't volunteer yourself for that, but you just let them wail on each other.
Kids Fight Club.
They can do it on them.
Michelle's
So
not
good. I
allowed
love
to be near children or teach children.
I will not ever, no
Why?
matter how much you try to pay me, teach children. I do not like children. I do not want children to be part of my life. I don't care what an unpopular opinion that is. I will not teach your children ever, nor do you want me to teach your children, because if you try to pawn your kids off on me, I am going to teach them every one of the worst cuss words. I'm going to teach them to punch you in the nuts, and I'm probably going to send them home hopped up on like Monster Energy, and I don't even fucking know. But you will not like what will happen if you try to pawn your kids off on me, because I do not like them. I do not want them, which is why I have not had them. So
that's like the tire the kids out in class and then give them energy drinks afterwards just to punish the parents for bringing them to class.
Well, if someone else ends up teaching the class, I don't care. But I mean, like, put it this way: the judo coach at my club said that they would not put me teaching the kids class because they did not want me to eat them. And I'm like, you missed a B at the beginning of that word, sir. However, probably beat the parents, but
Actually, the
Oh my
parents are always
God.
worse. Like,
I know the parents are worse. I see them at the
assistant coach
competitions, the
kids
whiny little fucks.
karate. Ugh. Why
I was
hasn't
gonna
such
say,
and such got his blah blah out yet? It's like, it's only 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it's
He's
like,
only
well,
been
your
here
kid
3
doesn't
weeks.
listen. Like your child doesn't listen and they suck. Like that's probably
And
why
they
they're
don't
not.
want to be there.
Yeah, if they don't
That's
want to.
why.
I ended up because I have taught kids in the past, and this is like 3 times. This is how I know I don't like it. And everyone's like, "You're really good at it." I'm like, "Yeah, good teacher, wrong age, okay." But one of the kids that I did teach, yeah, like the kid didn't want to be there, and it was very obvious that like the parents were just making the kid be there, and it's like, well, look, you don't want to be here. I don't want to waste my time teaching you because you're not interested. And like, that's not what I'm here for. Like, if you want to just lay on the floor and roll around, and this wasn't like a little 5-year-old kid that was just like, this was a kid that was old enough to make their own decisions and say yes or no, I do or do not want to do this thing, right? Like, mom, dad, at some point, listen to the fucking kid when they say, because honestly, I don't want to teach you if you don't want to be there either. Like, child or adult, if you don't want to be there for this thing, I don't want to teach you. I will spend my time on someone who wants to learn. I will not spend my time on someone who's going to fuck around and waste my time.
It's
Fair enough.
it's expensive babysitting, kind of.
Yeah.
That's where the term McDojo came from. Oh God, I went there.
What?
No, that was perfect.
See, I haven't even done any. It's been Beck and Andre this time. I've actually been good. Just give me a wine and a hot tub and I behave.
Yeah.
See?
Fair.
It's expensive, but to buy my silence, I feel like it's really worth it.
Fair enough. Oh gosh. All right, so Jazzy, so they talked you onto the mats, and then like it was what one lesson, and you were like, okay, this is for me, or
No, I hopped on, and funnily enough, I've not seen anyone that I had my first lesson with again. Had what that meant, but like I used to be someone who like people could not touch me. I could not have people's like feet near me. And this first lesson, I had this tiny girl doing like an S mount up near my head, like foot right, like squished up against my nose. And for some reason, I was like, yes, this is perfect, perfect for me. And yeah, just kept going back. It was so easy. I would just walk right across the road after work. I definitely didn't used to go as much as I did now. I think it took me a while to get to the point where I had like some kind of discipline and show up every day. But yeah, I don't know, something about rolling around getting sweaty with people, very enticing.
Right?
it happens.
Totally.
Happens to all of us. Like I started, and then I was like, I only do it like 2 times a week, and then I'm like, I only want to do it 5 times a week.
Really? See, I did like 4 classes and I started going multiple times a day and actually arranged my university schedule around. I was texting the coach. I'm like, do we know what the schedule's going to be in January? Like, I know it's changing and I need to book my classes soon. Like,
Oh no, Michelle. I did. I was at uni, and then I'm like, I'm gonna do like 1 subject or like 2 subjects just so I can actually go to training more. And I was only able to train 5 times a week because the gym I was at only had 3 classes a week. But then I'd follow my instructor around to the places he was teaching the other 2 days. And I'm just like, Andre, you're here again? Yes, I am.
well, then
It's like, oh, this guy.
you're like a new blue belt. So I don't know if Beck, you probably had this happen because you're a karate black belt, and Andre probably will not have had this happen because he's a man. How have you received the annoying people yet? Like, have you had the annoying people? Women, I find, are the worst ones for this, saying, oh, isn't it like, aren't they so hot? Don't you get turned on rolling with them? And it's like, no, bitch, like he's trying to break my arm. I don't care about his abs right now.
Yeah, that's the last thing you're thinking of. Oop, we broke the internet. What's going on?
Oh, really?
I don't know. All the sound has stopped.
I can still hear you.
I can still hear everyone.
Yep. Oh, just Jazz dropped out.
Oh, there we go.
I'm back.
Latency.
Are you back? Cool.
Yeah.
So sorry. No, yeah, Jesse, can you start your answer over again for us?
What was the question? What were we talking about? Oh,
just saying how, like, for women in martial arts, like you being a new blue belt, you may not have experienced this yet because you're still newer to the sport, but like, have you had women who have been bothering you about like, oh, aren't the guys so hot, or don't you get turned on when you're rolling with it? Because they look at it and they think that it's sexual, which I can kind of understand an outsider's perspective. Like, oh, you're on your back with your legs around this guy, and it's like, yeah, he doesn't want to be there because you're gonna break his arm or choke him or sweep him or
no, they
like they don't understand that.
For sure. Either people look at it and they go, how can you feel comfortable with that guy between your legs, like threatening to squash you? Or they're like, oh, he's cute. And it's like, you know what?
Right.
Maybe if you're watching a video of me doing it, or like on YouTube, or you're watching off the mats. But when you're there and you're very aware that you've got 20 other people's sweat dripping into your eyes, and
If you're lucky.
like
yeah.
you're seeing everybody just roll around on the sweat like a slip and slide, and
Yeah.
you're just thinking about sitting on your face, but it's like they're about to break your arm. That's not what's on your mind.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and like when you fall in between a guy's legs, you're just thinking, oh my god, I need to get out from between these like tree trunks before I get like snapped in half. Not like hear and appreciate it.
You go to put your forehead on his sternum or something and you go, oh fuck, you didn't wash his gi today, he stinks. Like,
Well, someone
Oh,
did.
so many. You're sitting there and you're like, I wonder if I can identify whose smell is this right now.
oh,
Is it
you know the
Oh,
stinky gi guy.
straight
You
up.
always know the stinky gi guy, but then like when you leave and you're like, yeah, I stink, and like that ain't my sweat that I'm smelling.
Or like I forget because I drive home and then I go to take a shower and the sweat's dried and I go to wash my face and I'm like, hang on. The sweat is dripping in my eyes. It's stinging and I don't know whose it is, but it's not mine.
It's
Good
better
Lord,
to drip
yeah.
in your eyes than in your
Oh.
mouth, though. That's
Ugh.
No, I think you're way too concerned over what, jiu-jitsu actually is versus what the other person looks like. And I think there's so many other situations in your life where you're thinking about your own body and being insecure about it and like, oh, I want to make sure I'm, laying at the beach and looking good. I don't want my rolls.
yeah.
You can't. You cannot. You are so focused on other stuff. You cannot be on the mats going, oh, when my face is being squished to shit in the middle of this, triangle, have I got a double chin?
Oh, I'm sure it
Does he
looks so
think that I
cute
look-
now, cringing like this. Like,
Oh no, it's
Oh
just
my
it's not
God.
on your. And yeah, my friends will be like, "Oh, are there any hot guys there?" And I'm like, I could not name a few because you're not thinking about
No,
that.
you don't think of that.
yeah.
Like
Like, I
most you
remember
think
when
of
I
them
was a
like
white
brothers or
belt.
something.
Well, when I was a white belt and I just started, like we're talking like day 2, day 3 kind of thing, and I'm just like, okay, like there's some decent looking guys and they're athletic and yeah, all right, But as soon as you start rolling, then it's like, oh shit, no, like I don't care how cute you might look standing on the side of the mat or across the bar or whatever. Like this ain't cute. This is hurting my arm. And then now to the point where like when new women come into the gym, and I've had this happen where like new women have come in and there's so many hot guys here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure there is. I never really noticed. And like, it's not an insult to any of the guys that I train with. I love them. They're amazing. They are definitely very attractive men. I'm not saying that to kiss ass. I'm saying that because like they are professional athletes. Of course they're attractive. They're in good shape. But at the same time, I'm not looking at you going like, ooh, like, yeah, you're trying to punch me in the nose or choke me out. Like, I'm not noticing how attractive or unattractive you are at this moment. Like,
Or you're like standing off against them and you're like, if I don't actually just start thinking straight, I'm gonna have 90 kilos of sweaty man sitting driving his whole weight through my chest. I'm not gonna sit appreciate like off the mats. I can be like, yeah, you're fit, everyone here is healthy, objectively good looking, whatever. It's not in my mind more than a second.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing that people kind of miss out on because they're looking at it like they're off the map, right? Like they're all coming. Well, they're coming from an outsider's perspective and they're like, okay, there's like fit, athletic, attractive people. Like, yeah, there is. Sure. I've also trained with like 65-year-old men. You know what I mean? Like, but like they look at it from an outsider's perspective where it's very, fit bodies, men and women that are tangled up and climbing all over each other. They get that kind of screwed up perception, and it's like it's not like that when you're in it. And I think especially for women, I can understand where women might be kind of like, oh, I'm uncomfortable, having, like you say, a 90 or 100 kilo guy like squeezing you into the floor, but it's like, yeah, but you know, this 90, 100 kilo guy, he's here to help you. He's here to help you learn. And he's here to help you learn a very valuable skill that you can use if you need to defend yourself.
Exactly. You know? No one at this gym when I've rolled has ever, it's never been threatening. It's always been a very safe, like, if I look at their face when they're 90 kilos, you know, driving into my chest, they're constantly looking at me to sit and like checking to see that I'm all right down there. Like, it's not, you know, if you're going to sit there and sexualize it or objectify it beyond just like, you know, going, yeah, everyone, you know, everyone here's fit and healthy. Look at them go. That's not what people are hopping on the mats for, and that's when you start to get uncomfortable. And you can pick it a mile away when someone's there for the wrong reason. And I've had women, and I think, you know, lots of people say, you know, jiu-jitsu is for everyone. Everyone should step on the mats. But I think at a certain point, you got to start like nutting down if you want to, you know, progress and start taking it seriously and really thinking beyond the social. You can't be thinking about, like, some people be like, oh, how come you can talk to this guy? He's so handsome. And I'm like, because I'm not talking to him because he's a handsome guy. I want to know how he nearly just broke my arm just then, because that was impressive. You know, I'm not getting nervous because I'm talking to a cute guy, you know, and they'll be like, oh, you know, you just seem so comfortable. Like, it's because I'm not thinking about him like that. And that's why I can go and roll several hours a night with them, because I'm not thinking about them as cute guys. I'm just there for the jiu-jitsu, and that's how I can talk to all these people. And I don't know, they've got to get past that thinking to be comfortable and do it.
Yeah, it's not just an outsider thing. Like, even in other martial arts, from them looking from their perspective as strikers or whatever, you know, and looking into jiu-jitsu, both women and men I've had said to me, how do you do that? How is that? How do you, I couldn't do that. I'd feel so uncomfortable. And it's like, well, that's kind of the point.
Did you say you do, was it judo or karate? Did you say that you did?
Both.
Both? Right, okay. So because jiu-jitsu is much more of the...
I know that Beck does jiu-jitsu as well. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm one of yours.
We corrupted her too. See, it's funny that the striker men get that mentality. I feel like even men in a striking martial art, I know it's not grappling based, but you'd think they would kind of, men and women, it would really understand that, like, this is a martial art, this isn't a sexual thing. But I don't know where I was going with that, because I've had too much wine.
No, actually, I think I know where you're going, Michelle, but like, no, I agree, because this is when I've experienced it, and I've experienced it from, like, say, here's a good example. I walked into a martial arts shop one time to try and get a gi or buy some gloves, something. I needed gi pants. Then they had like a sword, and I'm like, should I spend $1,000 on a sword? No, what are you doing? And I was talking to the dude behind the counter. He's like, oh, what are you looking for? What do you do? I'm like, I kind of just need gi pants. He's like, karate? I'm like, no. He's like, what do you do? Like, jiu-jitsu. He's like, Japanese or Brazilian? Brazilian.
Oh, fuck.
It's like, oh, he goes, oh yeah, I tried that out once. He goes, yeah. He goes, I didn't like it. And he goes, all the sex positions were just too gay. I'm like, bro, you got
what?
I go, first of all, one, you're thinking about it exactly the wrong way, and two, then you got some issues that you need to deal with.
Yeah.
He's like, no, man, I've got a girlfriend. I'm Colombian. I'm like, I don't care, bro. It's fine. It's whatever. But I'm going, when you got some dude bearing down on you, trying to strangle the life out of you, the last thing you're thinking of is he sitting on top of me?
Yeah. Like,
you're just like, don't pass out, don't pass out.
Yeah. You're not sitting there thinking, oh my God, it's a sexual position. Look, I mounted him. No, like, dude, you're playing murder. Like, you know.
Yes. One of the guys that I know, John Will, amazing dude, love his seminars every time he's teaching. He was the Australian who brought Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to Australia. In one of his recent Facebook posts, he goes, this is a confronting sport for males and females. He goes, every day we slap hands, fist bump, simulate murder. Yep.
Yeah. And the Japanese jiu-jitsu thing, I just can't. I've had like 2 experiences with Japanese jiu-jitsu, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, maybe if you have your weapon, all right, but like, what are you doing?
Isn't
What are you
that kendo? Isn't that something completely different?
It's something like Aikido or something like that. And I'm just like, as soon as I hear Aikido, I just go, fuck. But I mean, now I just pissed some people off. All right. But I mean, no, I just look at like the experiences that I've had. I had one guy who was like, I was rolling with him and he was like, yeah, I'm a black belt and blah, blah, blah. And he's like trying to poke me. He's trying to poke his thumb into my ribs. And I'm like, that's nice. And it just like grind his face with my elbow. Like, I'm like, what are you know what I mean? Or like I see them and they're like doing a 2-on-1 grip, but it's not really, it's not effective because it's like, I can still hit you from here, sir. Like, I don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I'm just kind of like, I feel like there's a reason Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is significantly more popular than Japanese Jiu-Jitsu.
It's probably
Just-
more modernized.
It's not
Practical.
modernized at all. It's a classical martial art and it's older than judo, so it is not modernized at all.
No,
They even do try.
BJJ is modernized.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, that's what Beck meant.
I feel
And
like
again,
breaches practicality all the time. Like most of the all the changes that you hear about, because I hear most of the professors like, oh, years ago it used to be more of this type of game in comps and stuff like that. All the changes just sound like because they're going, this is way more practical. This is, whether you're in a gi or not, on the mats or on the street, it has a place. Whereas some like Japanese jiu-jitsu that you're talking about sounds like, you can't transfer it like that into another context.
It might have been practical at one point when people were running around with swords and.
Well, it was applicable when you were
you
like,
not?
in the Japanese military with a fucking horse and a sword, sure. But like, I mean, I'm not gonna. Okay, hold on. Can you just wait here a minute? I'm gonna go get my sword and a stallion, and I'll be back. Fuck. Come on.
I would wait.
Oh, my mind.
I would wait. You would, but you would wait because you'd be like, you'd be planning your escape route because it could kick your ass hand to hand. So I mean, I'm gonna throw you.
But it's also evolution of sport. Japanese jiu-jitsu begot judo begot BJJ. Yeah, it's just improvements over time. Yeah, thankfully, and you're right. Like the Japanese jiu-jitsu and the very early judo, it was made and utilized when there was samurais and they're wearing armor and you uchimated someone, it's like dropping a piano on them because they're wearing 30 kilos of armor as well.
This is the thing, right? Is the Japanese jiu-jitsu, like when you look at the lineage of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, just in like broad strokes, high level lineage here is like,
it's Elio Gracie and then it's
not even that. It's the way that society evolves. When you look at, you got like the Japanese jiu-jitsu, and that was for, like you say, military, horseback, armor, swords. Like you were carrying weapons, you were riding an animal, you were wearing like how many kilos of armor. I mean, at that point that was practical. Well, when you're not wearing armor, then you get the traditional martial arts, judo, karate, taekwondo, where you're wearing your gi. So judo becomes very practical when you're wearing a gi. Sure, very practical within its rule set. But now, even you look at we were talking about this a little while ago about how BJJ is starting to move away from the gi. Even you don't see the gi as much in competition. It's starting to move more towards no gi, and I think you're seeing that because anything I can do to you no gi, I can also do in the gi. I don't need grips to rear naked choke you or triangle choke you or arm bar you. There are some lapel chokes that I need the gi for, but is that going to make or break my game if I can't assassin's choke you? Like, no, it's not.
Like, in fact, I find it a lot harder to sink in a rear naked with the gi on.
Yeah, there's that bulk in the way.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Every martial art had it was useful at the time that it was useful. So, correct me, right? Like karate was used. There was the Okinawan style, and there was a few other ones, and they were used by the peasants, the farmers who could not afford to go and learn the Japanese jiu-jitsu that everyone else, the richer, the military were learning, and they would use a lot of jump, spinning kicks, and rear backhands and stuff to knock people off their horses.
Yeah, from what I've researched, I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. And like Michelle said, people don't ride horses anymore.
No.
And like nowhere in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu do they ever say, okay, we stand in front of the car and then
Bring your hit me, but hit me really, really slow so that I can block it. And when you run at me with your wrist like this. What the fuck? Like, let's be practical. You know what I mean? Like,
You're attacking me wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't punch me right. You punched me. Your ankle was a 45, and it was supposed to be a 27. Like, it just. This is why I love MMA. You know.
Yeah, I remember going into that same martial arts shop with the homophobic Colombian dude, and his boss was there, and he's like, what do you do? I'm like, oh no, I gotta go for this again. He's like, no, karate does this. We do like wrist locks and this stupid wrist lock. I'm like, okay, that was weird. And then he goes, now punch me in the thigh. I'm like, why would I do that?
Punch you in the thigh?
Yeah.
Why would I punch you? I'm gonna kick you in the thigh. And that's assuming that I've missed your knee or your hip because I want to hit a joint to disable you. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, I'm like, punch me in the thigh. I'm like, why would I do that? He goes, no, do it. Yeah, but why? Why would I do that? Why would I punch you in the thigh? He goes, you punch me in the thigh. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh my God.
So I went to punch me in the thigh and he lifts up his leg and then he like karate chomps my wrist. I'm like, and what's that going to do?
What's that do? Other than
he goes, yeah, but you didn't punch me in the thigh. I'm like, but I wasn't going to punch him in the thigh. You asked me to.
If I'm going to punch you, I'm going to punch you in the face or the liver. Let's be clear. Like, I will kick you in the leg, but my fist is going to come for your face or your liver because I want to do damage. I don't want to act like a fucking idiot. Sorry.
Both of the guys sound like their priorities were mixed. One guy was concerned about the sex positions, and the other guy wanted you to touch him.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, right?
I think I know where the homophobia came from. Maybe the boss had a little
one of them was like, don't climb topic, don't get on me. And the other was like, touch my lower body.
They sound like they need
the head. You know.
Guys, I need to give you a bit of context. So I'm sitting outside in my backyard and a fucking bird almost hit me in the head.
Not the thigh?
It swooped me like quite low.
No one is happy that you're recording this, Andre. I think is this a sign?
Nah, fuck them all.
No, let's continue. Anyway,
Andre,
to
just
follow up,
I'm sitting in my backyard too, and no birds have attacked me at all.
Yeah, it was because they're frozen to death.
Yeah, they're all
out in the summer.
Yeah, they're all down south right now, where I should be on vacation, but I'm not. Stupid.
I have a follow-on question from, I think it was Michelle that asked about people asking about like handsome men. Have you ever had people go like, oh, won't your partner be jealous?
Oh, yes.
I hate that.
Oh my God.
I think Beck. But I've definitely had that where I've had people like, oh my God, well, won't your boyfriend be jealous? I'm like, listen, this is why I don't date boys. I date men who will understand. Like, if you don't understand the difference, you are a little boy, and like, I ain't no pedophile, so you can just sit your ass over there. Like, also,
so quick.
I can also beat the shit out of them, is my assumption at this point. Like, if you don't understand the difference between me trying to fuck another man and me training with a man in a male-dominated sport, then I'm quite confident that you have never trained a day in your life. I could quite easily kick your ass, and therefore, thank you for the pussy repellent. I'm not attracted to you, sir. You're welcome. Andre, this is why we do the disclaimer. Don't even.
What? No, we need the disclaimer. Otherwise, we get sued. And I don't know how cross-continental like lawsuits work.
I mean, listen, I'm not attacking any one individual per se. However, if the shoe fits, you may want to, consider putting your can of pussy repellent down and learning how fighting actually works. The difference between fighting and fucking. I feel like you may have been abused, and you should have a talk with your uncle or your priest, whoever did it.
Oy.
Okay. And then award for the worst one. goes to Michelle. Everyone take a drink. Take a drink. This is what happens.
No.
I haven't even finished my first glass of wine. Just
I'm
relax.
empty.
You just take a
This
sip.
hasn't helped me.
Okay,
Oh,
the
How
po-
many
if the
drinks are in a bottle?
podcast turns out into a drinking game, every time Michelle says something offensive, we're all gonna get smashed pretty damn quick.
Oh no, but
Oh,
she
every
said
time Michelle says
two
something offensive, I
offensive
mean, if
things.
you want to start that, like, I will just go off.
That would be a great drinking game, actually.
Oh, we'd be fucked in 5 minutes. Wait, what are we counting as
Yeah, I-
offensive here, though? Because, like, I know some people that think the word fuck is offensive. So, like, are we
Well-
drinking every time I say fuck or cunt, or are we
No.
like saying every time I
No,
make?
it's stuff like
priest.
that. Like then you need to talk to your uncle or priest.
Look, we don't want alcohol. Okay, let's go easy.
Yes, right.
That's true.
Just saying,
Oh God.
you're supposed to call the priest father, not daddy.
Take another drink.
I just did. I mean, I can drink more.
Shall I line up?
By the
Okay,
way, Zoom
so-
extended our meeting, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
good.
Now
that's
unlimited.
Good.
So
Or
sweet.
yay.
That's
Lovely.
perfect. Jazz,
We need to talk about
Tell us-
something else. End it with that.
tell us
joke.
what it was like getting your blue belt. Now, because I'm
Oh.
still getting familiar with how Kevin and Megan run their gyms. Did you have to do like a formal grading? Because when I got mine, I had to do 10 rounds. Well, I think I did 15. But
Oh my god. See, they
What?
don't. I didn't. Did you say 15?
Dude, what'd you do to
Yeah,
piss your
my-
instructor off that much?
he
Oh,
just
he
he just
did
got
too.
he just got way into it, and he forgot to turn the timer on and off a couple times.
Well, conveniently.
Yeah.
What?
Nudge,
I
nudge.
was the first vision impaired person to get a color belt in all of like Australasia. So.
Oh, yeah, so he's like, let's destroy
Sweet.
you. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
pretty much. Yeah,
think
I
you need a
almost threw up afterwards. Like I'm standing up, like after, like with the blue belt not yet tied around my waist. I'm like leaning against a crash mat, like falling down.
Like when you fell
And,
into the garbage can?
Food for discrimination. I think.
Yes, actually, quite very similar. Very similar to when I fell into the.
Oh my god. Well,
My
no, it
goodness.
wasn't like that. They I think across. I don't know about the other SJJ gyms, but I don't think they do it like a grading day so much. They tend to just spring it on us. We'll have like a normal class, and then they'll just whip out a belt from behind their jacket and be like, "Ta-da!" Because they've been like,
Oh, okay, cool.
like they obviously
Yeah.
don't just like do it randomly. They're discussing it for weeks and stuff. But yeah, it's definitely a surprise when I got it, and so I basically cried so much that I couldn't make a little speech, and had to myself later on social media to thank everybody. It was a moment that I was not prepared for. Also because I wanted to compete, and I was hoping to compete as a white belt.
Oh no.
But I think
Ooh.
like COVID fucked it up, and things were getting cancelled left, right, and center, and they were like, you know what, like we can't just not give you a belt. So yeah, I sobbed and sobbed because I think I'd gone through like those few years where I was a white belt and I wasn't training consistently, struggling to get to the gym, and had only just recently like clicked, and I was there 2-3 times a day sometimes, like obsessed. Someone said, "Don't you have a life?" and like laughed at me for it, but I was like, no, this is it. Don't bully me for it. This is healthy.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
No, we've been there. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like it's not a bad thing. Like sometimes if I was there 3 times a day, one of those classes was just to be in the gym and around people and with the community there. It's not like I was killing myself over jiu-jitsu, but yeah, it was a massive moment. And I think it was one of my women's class, and the coach that I first started off with got to give it to me.
Who
Which is
was it? Who was it first? Who was the first coach?
it's Coach Aaron. I'm not sure. He hasn't like with lockdown and stuff, he hasn't been back, I don't think. But yeah, it was amazing because I think it was just after that we went into another lockdown, didn't get to see each other. So it was this nice little like, took me
Yeah.
from my white belt, gave me all my stripes, white
Take
belt,
this job.
gave me my blue. missing. Yeah, big moment. Sobbed a lot.
Nice.
I think I just realized that like after a while, like after that click and I was turning up, I hadn't thought about how hard it was for so long. So when I got my blue belt, I was like, oh my God, it's been like 6 months where I haven't been struggling to turn up. I haven't been feeling horrible. And 6 months of just being really engaged and I don't even know the word for it. Like super enthusiastic about it. I just hadn't thought about the loads of the
Optimistic.
weight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's
And
awesome.
then, so yeah, there's not like a big grading thing, but I had this sense, like, you know, when people start making comments, they're like, oh, you're ready for your blue, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. So you sense it coming, but I definitely didn't expect it. But then I got my first stripe on my blue. Can't even remember. I don't even remember what, man, a couple months ago. But I was one of 2 students that showed up on a Thursday because it's been quiet since coming back from lockdown. And
Yeah.
Kev said, okay, Jazz, if you can roll with Nev, the guy, I think he's a 2-stripe blue belt. So you can roll with him for 40 minutes, you can have your stripe. And I went, no, cannot do that. So he goes, okay, roll for 30. So we rolled him for 30 and Nev was beautiful. Like he wasn't just trying to like smash me into the ground, but it was tough. And then nearing the 30-minute mark, he's like, oh, I've got a surprise for you when you reach 30 minutes. And I was like mid-roll going, you fucking tell me that there's 5 more minutes on the clock. Don't do it. Of course he did it. I think it ended up being the 40-minute roll, but obviously once you start, I'm not going to stop and just be, no,
Yeah.
I'm going to quit the challenge, Professor. I'm just going to completely go against your advice. And then I remember like the roll ends and he's like dangling the little piece of tape above my head. He's like, come and get it. So that was a fun moment. It was weird because it wasn't like a grading moment. It wasn't like he just kind of, it felt random. So that one felt, you had to battle that, like, do I deserve this kind of thing? Like,
That's a long time to make someone roll for as well.
he does it every now and then, and he's clever. It's like a different challenge for each person he's done it to. He did it to someone at Narrabeen, this young girl, and she took on several people for like, I think she did longer than 40 minutes. But she's a wet. And so like for most of that, he was like, you know, your fitness, you know, I'm not the fit person out there, but he's like, it's gonna push you, you know, cardio wise, fitness wise. And then he's like, you know, halfway through, and I'm an emotional person and he knows that. He's like, you know, your emotions are gonna hit a wall and you're not gonna be able to, like, you'll feel like you'll just want to quit. And I remember that it was like 30 seconds before I realized myself in the role, he goes, all right, you're about to get emotional and you've got to push through it. Oh my God, the wind.
But it's good that you can recognize that though.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But it's also good that you just fucking bit down and persevere through it as well.
Yeah. And I think it's interesting too, like when you start talking to people from other gyms and you see like how different clubs grade, right? Like some are going to make you do the test. Like, you know, when I got my blue belt, it was just a surprise grading. I was given my blue belt during warm up. Like I had no idea. The guys knew. I had no friggin' idea. They videotaped it. But yeah, well, they videotaped it, and that's when I knocked my coach on his ass because I was so happy to get my belt, and he just kind of went thump on the floor. But then once the club got bought out by or bought into a bigger international name, then they started doing the testing, right? Like it wasn't just this little small club anymore. So they're like, well, we're going to start doing testing because that's what this club does. They do the testing. And now the competition team that I'm at, I don't like, we were actually talking about this. Me and some of the girls were going like, what? Don't really know. Cause the coach does not just hand out belts. Like you better earn it. Now what you do to earn it, I don't know. I you know, somewhere between consistency and technique, but also like it is a competition team. So I think the competitors, whether you're competitive MMA, competitive jiu-jitsu, whatever, you're going to be graded a little harder, right? Like you're going to want to be at the top of your game. right? Like I kind of feel like for me to get my what's it called, purple belt, I'm probably gonna have to be beating up purple belts. You know what I mean? As a blue.
Right. Sort of makes sense.
Yeah.
But that would be like new purple belts, right? Not like 4-stripe purple belts.
I don't know. Because
would
it is
they
a
be closer to
competition.
brown?
too.
Hmm.
Well, yes, but at the same time, you got to think I've got my blue belt now. We do predominantly no gi. Well, we do only no gi, actually. There is no more because the gi coach moved to Mexico. So we only do no gi. So there is no stripes involved. Like it's just,
Right.
this is the belt level you're at. You're not getting stripes. I have one stripe on my blue belt that I got like 3 years ago now when I was training at my last club. Right? So, like I have not gotten a stripe since then. Now I'm going to take a tiny guess and say that, in not even leaving that club, but just the fact that I've been training for 3 years since then, I've
Wow.
probably gotten a touch better.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
Hope so.
So, and like, it's just, it's different standards and it's different levels
Okay.
and different goals to be met at each club, right? Because again, we don't really do testing. You get your belt when you've earned it.
Okay. So some schools like skip stripes. That's interesting.
Well, if you're not doing the gi,
Hmm.
you're not going to get stripes. There's no belt.
Makes
There's no
sense.
actual belt involved. We have ranked rash guards, sure, but
Mhm.
no belt.
Oh god, can you imagine if they came out with ranked striped rash guards? Ugh. How much of a money
Oh my
pool would that
god!
be?
Don't
Ugh.
give them the idea.
It's okay, nobody listens to
IBJJF
this
will
podcast.
do
We're
that.
safe.
Yeah, I don't think they're paying attention to our podcast, but I'm like, don't give them the idea. For Christ's sake,
Oh
the
god.
ranked rash guards, I'm pretty sure came out because of IBJJF. I'm pretty sure that was to make. I've heard, this is what I've been told, is that was to make money at competitions. Was like, we're gonna sell you, you have to wear a ranked rash guard to reflect your. I'm like, what the fuck do I need to listen? If I'm a blue belt and I enter the blue belt division and a woman steps on the mat across from me, chances are she's not a black belt.
Hmm.
Like, tiny guess, she's probably about my weight and rank, at least, if not about my age. So we are quiet. Where is Andre and Jess?
That's a good point. Oh, they're back in.
They left.
What happened? Where'd
Hello?
you guys go?
They got sick of our shit.
Oh my god, you guys are still here. Yay.
Yeah, we're here. Hello. Where'd you guys go?
Hello. Oh, did Andre drop out as well?
Yes. We just
We
noticed.
had-
Thank God.
I don't know when, like, you guys, like, when we dropped out, but I stopped, like, in my bloody
Oh, fuck.
monologue.
Andre's here. He's on mute.
Oh,
He's on
we're just,
What
we
a
just ignore him.
I didn't do it.
But
Oh my
I went to go
God.
close the window because it was super windy. I look out and everything is white, like you cannot see because it's torrential rain out there. No
Ooh.
vision, and like the houses were shaking. And I think a tree fell outside our house. Like it was like
Wow.
hail banging on the windows, everything. I don't know where that came from, but like all these trees have fallen down. So I don't know
Holy
how far
shit.
away he lives from me, but like the
That's
power's out and everything.
Wow. And Andre was outside too. Oh dear.
God.
Well,
It came on
looking
quick,
at
so-
his little person here has a red mic with a line through it. So I would suggest that Andre, you dumb cunt, if you can hear me, go get Yana.
So maybe he's back on, but he's not ready to join. Oh my god. Well, hopefully he didn't get swept away, but like bloody, Wizard of Oz in a tornado. Because that was insane. I don't know where that came from. Oh well. Did you guys
My
pause
guess
recording?
is that he's aware
Yeah, we
that
still are.
everyone on the call could kick his ass and he's just hiding. hiding in this little corner.
Yeah,
He's
I'm back.
so. Oh, there
There
we
we
go.
go.
you
I got
are.
him back.
Andre, did you have that storm?
Yes, yeah, I had to run inside.
Oh my
He
God.
did get rained
I'm
on.
so sorry I missed that.
I have to run outside.
Did you
was
get Yana to take you off
insane.
mute? Is that what happened?
No, I think my mom did it.
Oh, got his mom to do it.
Oh no,
Thanks,
no,
Mom.
Thanks, Andre's
okay,
mum.
where's my hand?
I'm gonna go get a drink while you guys are.
I need
Now that
a.
everyone's back.
I'm just gonna minimize you guys 1 sec.
Okay.
All right, well, I'm going to run to the bathroom then.
I'm gonna pause the recording too.
Perfect.
All right.
Like
Here we go.
that's a good one.
So we're taking a jump because I think when the recording cut out or when the storm hit over there, we were talking about belt grading. And
Yeah,
now we're
Oh, yeah,
talking
We've
about
come a long way. I forgot we weren't recording.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, no,
we
that's
had
fine.
we had a nice little
It stopped when I got
chat.
kicked out.
I have gotten out of my hot tub and out of my bathing suit and I still have my wine. So I can
No, I'm pretty sure all the recording got you guys all talking shit. So,
Oh,
so
that's
now it was like,
fantastic.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. So no, Jazz asked like it was either what do you train or where do you train?
Yeah.
So
So
I know you're at Toshido.
I am so happy to be at Toshido. I fucking love Toshido. I cannot say enough amazing things about the awesome men and women at Toshido MMA. They are my family and I love them.
Yeah.
And they
and
can all
that's
murder.
and that's probably like the second best gym in Canada next to TriStar.
I think we're definitely the best on the West Coast. And then
Yeah.
I think you kind of got to give it to TriStar just for GSP, unfortunately. But in my opinion, we're the best. So
Yeah.
shots fired, and don't hurt me because everyone at my gym can kick my ass as well. So like, you know what?
I was going to
My
say they're big
opinion,
claims, but
not trying to get beat up by GSP. Just my opinion. I like Toshido better. So
starting a feud. That's it.
yeah.
You see, I wouldn't mind getting beat up from GSP because like he would teach me something.
You
amazing.
know what? It would at least be
You'd be taking
he's
notes.
Yeah,
Like,
100%.
at
He's
least,
such a
like,
nice
how many
guy. He would
people-
stop mid beating me up and be like, "Okay, now you'll see where like I got you here, and now just like turn and I could punch you, but I won't." I'm like, I know, super nice guy, and I learned so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what was it, Michelle? You said you were training with someone who used to ride bulls.
No, not training with. I used to compete. So
Oh.
this was when I was training. So when I was a white belt, so I started training at a little local gym in April of 2017. And that's when I first started training jujitsu and Muay Thai. And I don't even fucking know anymore because A, I can't keep track of all the competitions that I've done even, and B, I've had a lot of wine. But at my first competition, I went up against 3 women. Every single one of them pulled guard. And this was like my initial, like, I'm gonna learn judo because you know what? You're fucking annoying. Like trying to pass their legs was really annoying. But one woman in particular was exceptionally annoying. She used to ride bulls.
Oh
Bull,
God.
Bull, like the male cow that will charge you like a fucking demon.
So she's a
Bull.
little strong. A little
Like,
strong.
yeah, just a touch of muscle in the legs, like just a little bit. Like, and I'm like, I can't, like, it's like a vice was just wrapped around. I'm like, I can't. Like, I could push her down. I could keep her in. So I basically just had to wait for her to open her legs to throw up a submission, which I mean, like, we're both white belts. So I was like, I'm gonna die. And so basically I just had to, total kamikaze it and be like, look, this is a fucking suicide mission. But if I'm going down, you're going down with me, and wait for her to try to submit me and then like run as fast as I could to get away from the legs, which I was successful at. So yeah, like that was a whole thing. And then I did my second competition and she did it to me again. And I ripped my pants like just on the knee when I was fighting her. And I'm like, fuck. And I actually got past her legs and submitted her. So I was like, ha. But I
White
mean,
belt
yeah,
willpower
but
for the win.
two
So-
competitions of that. And I was like, fuck this. I'm not passing guard anymore. Like, I'm just going to learn judo and throw them.
Oh
And
yeah, that makes sense,
that's-
right?
was so much easier than learning
One
to
way to
pass
do it.
guard. And now I train at an MMA gym where like why would I pass your guard? I will punch you or I will ankle lock you or heel hook you, but like fuck you and your guard. So that has been, you know, super helpful to my desire to not have to ever pass guard. I can
So
pass guard.
Michelle,
I can pass guard.
are you saying bull riding is bullshit?
No, I'm saying it's bullshit when you got to deal with the legs because then you get stuck there and you're like, this is fucking bullshit. Yeah, that is what I'm saying.
Now, that sounds like fun cross training. Rodeo riding.
Yeah, it was like really, it was ridiculous. Her legs were so, but you know what the funny thing is now the guys are all bitching about my strong legs from the pole dancing. So I'm like, like, okay.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So
no,
Jazz, have you competed yet?
No.
Not yet.
It's been so frustrating because I think I'll obviously have to like, especially because it's my first one, like really gain the confidence to even step up to a competition. And I've been trying to, and I've signed up a couple of times. They've been cancelled a few times. I wanted to do one as a white belt and they, you know, I think there was only so long they could kind of delay giving me the blue belt. They were like, we have to give it to you. And then, you know, I was going to do a local one in December, got cancelled. So we're hoping early next year.
But here's the thing though, as a white belt, no offense, Beck, but every white belt is a fucking spaz. Like it's super annoying. So like even in competition or like it's the same. You're just spazzing out. Like my first competition, my coach the girl was trying to sit up and he's like, push her down. And I'm like, okay, I literally like put my hand on her face and like pushed her face. He's like,
oh my
God,
God,
on her face. I'm like, what? Like
not what I meant.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to actually put your hand on their face and push their face to the floor. That was apparently not an okay thing to do.
But
I know that now.
Like you can totally put your hand on someone's chin and but hold it there if you're trying to rape.
No, my whole palm was on her face.
Oh, whatever.
Like my palm was on her cheek. My fingers were probably in her eyes. Like this was.
Well, that makes it fair, right?
Like. Yeah, I mean, like even in the UFC, this would not be okay. So I don't know. I was just being a dick. But I was not aware that I was being a dick because I was a white belt. And he's like, push her down, and like my instinct was like face, you know. So I just kind of feel, yeah. But so I mean, two things is you're going to be competing in the female division, which always has next to nobody, no matter where you go, because
it always
not a
looks
lot
like
of women
slim pickings.
Yeah, because there's not a lot of women that train and there's even less that compete. So chances are you're not going to have a huge division, whether you're white belt or blue belt. You're going to have like a couple other people and that's it. The nice thing about being a blue belt is that you might get your ass kicked. Like my first competition as a blue belt, I got my ass kicked like bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm
because
expecting.
The one woman super outweighed me and the other one was a fucking purple belt. So like, but you might get your ass kicked, but you're getting your ass kicked by people like you might win, right? Because you're a legitimate blue belt. They're a legitimate blue belt. You might win. And even if you don't win, they're more controlled. So you're not going to deal with the spasm shit most of the time. That being said, I got kneed in the nose in my last one. So you don't fucking know.
Yeah, I think I forget
happens.
Like now that it's been a few months, I'm like, okay, I'm a blue belt for a reason. Yep. You know, looking at blue belts as a white belt, I was like, good Lord, I could never. But now looking back at the white belt, now I know why my coaches would be like, guys, you know, sometimes people won't want to roll with you. And it's because you're a white belt and that's okay. We're going to respect it because you guys are crazy and you don't know how to control your limbs yet. You're like little toddlers indeed. And I was like, okay, I trust you. I'm not going to say you're wrong, but I couldn't see it until then going back and rolling with a few white belts as a blue, like being on my blue flag.
Like, oh, yeah,
right.
There was this one white belt guy and he was so fucking, oh my God, what a spaz. And I'm just like, every time I would see it and I'm just like, I hate you. And I never even learned his name, but he was just like super spaz, didn't cut his nails, So I'm like, hey,
Oh.
Oh,
bitch,
God.
like I'm getting fucking scratched because you're just like spazzing out, and I'm like, fuck. Oh, he
See, I
was
think,
annoying.
and I hate to point it out, but when we were talking before about rolling with guys, I found that there's a difference between each of them, especially going back with white belts. I find that like noticing guys not clipping their nails and washing their gear, it's like this unwillingness to be told that like you've got to be considerate. And they're not trying to be considerate with their bodies. They just want to go nuts and crazy. And guys have like this belief in their body already that they're strong and they can do things. So they tend to be heavier and more aggressive. The women, on the other hand, are already like, they're like way too considerate and they'll hold back.
Yeah.
So then they're not being wild, but
Well-
then they're also not doing anything and they're not throwing their bodies into stuff. And so it's like this opposite, like two extremes
Wow.
of like,
And it does
either-
depend again, right? Because like for me, one of my main training partners, she is a white belt.
Mhm.
A white belt at Toshido, which is very different than a white belt anywhere else. She's also a professional MMA fighter. So she will definitely go, she's not trying to hurt me in any way. But
Yeah.
she also respects me as a competitor, as an athlete. She respects me enough to not like she's gonna lay it on me when I, like if I ask her to roll, like I'm not gonna just get. She is not a spaz, first of all. Like she's like a definitely not a spazzy white belt. But that
Yeah.
being said,
Mhm.
pretty much any other
Oh, for
club,
sure.
she would
It's like what I
she'd
said
be a
doesn't like
blue or
stand for
purple.
everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. So like there's and she keeps her nails trimmed, but that again, like this is a professional fighter, a professional athlete,
Mhm.
right? I've definitely seen other women come in who they come in to, and take your pick, because I've seen it at every single gym that I've trained at. Like every jits, every judo gym, they come in with a face full of makeup and their hair is all pretty and they got the fake
Oh.
nails and they're
Makeup
Wait,
on my
they're wearing a
gi
sports
pisses
bra.
me off.
And that it pisses me off too. And I'm at the point where I'm just like, okay, look, I'm at a level now where I'm just gonna tell you, like, no, I'm not training with you, because like even though I'm training no gi, so the stuff isn't as expensive, I'm still paying $50-$60 for a pair of shorts or spats or a shirt.
Mm.
But when you're looking at some of my gis, especially my judo gis, they're like $300.
Oh, you got
So-
Mizuno's?
I've got Mizuno's, yeah, and now I've got
Wow.
Adidas coming on the way, and those are my competition gis. I can't have those fucked up. So if you're coming in with a face full of makeup, listen, bitch, this is not date night. Like, yeah, you're gonna get fucked, but not in the fun way. And like, I don't need your face full of makeup on my $300 gi. Thank you very much. And I've had
It also just
some
makes
women
me
get
think
mad.
like, how are they going to roll if they think like
I know.
if you've got
Yeah.
a face full of makeup, you tend to be like, I only wear a face full of makeup if I'm going out, so I'm tending to be careful and I don't want it mucked up. So then if I'm rolling with you, am I supposed to feel bad and am I meant to hold back and not,
I won't.
mess up your makeup and your hair?
No,
Like, it just
I
makes me
will
confused, and I
have
end up
their
thinking
makeup
more
in hair.
about that than the roll, and it's
See, my
very
thing is, I'm a
confusing.
bitch. Like,
I gotta admit-
and I
Oh,
like, well, but I've had some women, because there's like, if you go on like the Women's Grappling Network on Facebook, and this comes up from time to time about the makeup and training,
I like
and
that
I've
group.
had some. I do for the most part, but I've definitely had some women who get really fucking mad, and they're just like, well, it's not your decision. Blah, 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 blah. Listen, if she wants to do a whole face full of makeup, like that, whatever. I do that when I'm going out to the bar. I do not do that at the gym, because this is not I'm not trying to pick up a hot date after wrestling class. Like, look, first of all, your makeup's going to get fucked up. Second of all, any guy who's worth two shits is not looking at your makeup, and he's there to train. He doesn't give a shit if you have gold eyeshadow on or not. Like, he really doesn't care.
throw
and
them
it's
off
like,
more than anything.
well, and like, you're gonna sweat. It's all your
Ugh.
sweat is gonna mess up it's all gonna be running down your face. You're gonna look like
Yep.
shit. I don't want it on any of my training gear, whether it's my boxing gloves or my gi. The guys don't
Mm.
want it on their training gear. You're not being considerate. So this is where I start to be an asshole. If you have long hair and a ponytail, I'm gonna kneel on it. If you have, well, I mean, don't your fucking hair except you really, you gotta have, you want hair down to your ass when you're rolling? Like, I'm gonna kneel on it. if your nails break, I don't give a shit if you've got those like long ass dagger fake nails. I'm gonna try to break them because you know what? Then they're not scratching me. Yeah, maybe I'm a bitch, but well, I mean, like I'll admit I'm a bitch, but it's like, you know what?
No, but you know what you're getting into when you step onto the mat. And I feel like every
You're here to
time
fight,
whoever you
not
speak
fuck.
to before you sign up will give you the lowdown and say it's not a pretty sport. It's not, you're not spinning around, not getting each other's faces. You know, you get sweaty and gross, and more often than not, you've watched a few classes or you've looked it up. It's obvious what you're getting into. So it's like you're not. I don't think you would be awful about it, but it's also how much responsibility do you have to?
I don't know.
Take
I reckon
I'm
not
sometimes
awful
people
about it.
don't know what they're getting into. I think they think they're gonna like show up and it's gonna be like taekwondo or karate or something, and they're like, what the?
I think they quickly realize. They would quickly realize.
But this is where I am at the point where I'm like, I'm just not gonna roll with these people. And it's just the fact that like my training equipment is expensive. Like I don't buy the cheap stuff anymore. I'm not, you know, I've got a good enough career. I don't need to buy cheap stuff. And I'm doing this as a professional athlete. So I don't want to buy the cheap stuff. I want quality training equipment. I'm training at a high level team. I need proper equipment to do that. And it's I don't want your freaking $20 eyeshadow from Sephora on my boxing gloves or my gi. Like I don't, you know, like do that for your boyfriend. Don't do that when you're coming to train. So I just say like, no, I'm not going to train with them. And
you guys have Sephora in Canada?
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys have it in Australia?
Yeah, apparently so.
There you go. Wait, the man on the call is like, oh my God, Sephora.
He's like, hang on a second. Let me write
I'm
notes.
trying to work out.
Hold on.
Do you
I
see a
didn't know
change
that
in
was
these
an
women like
international
as
company.
Yeah, they either become jujitsu women or they leave.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like I've seen a few kind of come in, and I think the reason behind sometimes them doing their hair a certain way and wearing a bit of makeup, you know, I wasn't a makeup wearer before, but I can understand there are some girls I know that are like, you know, scared to be out without their makeup, and I've seen some girls really change it up and really get confident and comfortable with themselves without it, because all of a sudden they have to get comfortable with the fact that they're rolling around all sweaty. And you're not thinking about your body, you're thinking about the moves. You're not, you know, it takes that focus off. So all of a sudden they come in, they're not wearing makeup one day, and then they realize, hey, I didn't even notice. And they start turning up, you know, without their nails done, and, you know, really lean into it. And if anything, I get proud
I
of
don't
them.
like, I mean, like I say, one of my main training partner, she's got her nails done. She keeps them like, and they look nice. Like they look nice. And she was saying to me, she's like, oh, you should get your nails done. And I'm like, I don't got, and she's just like, Michelle, I'm like, oh yeah, you don't got any nails either. Like you're not. So like you definitely can. And I'm not knocking that at all. I mean, even for me, I have an office job. I have a professional job. I would like to wear makeup to work, and you know what I mean? But that being said, if I wear makeup to work, I'm going to bring baby wipes or something in my training bag and clean that shit off my face before I start rolling with my partners.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
So
And
like,
it comes down to whether it's the broody products or yeah, you gotta be considerate.
I've
like
had to have this
you know,
conversation
do your
with
makeup, your nails, look pretty, do what you got to do. I'm not knocking that at all. Like, because you know what, when you're done up and you're looking good, fuck yeah, good for you. But like, be considerate of the fact that I'm probably gonna put on about $600 worth of training equipment tonight for each of my classes. I don't need your makeup on that.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
I used to do a checklist with like the girls that I would have as students, and I'd say, okay, nails, do, you know, as long as they're short, do it as you please. Jewelry off, makeup off. Like if you're not comfortable, just know it is going to go on your gi, on your training partner's gi, and then people are going to complain. People
Even if they say
are going to complain.
Oh, sorry,
right?
I was just going to say, even if it's like, you know, they say that it happens with hair dye too. They say, oh, it's resistant to sweat. You can't sweat it off. That's
Oh,
a load of
sorry about
rubbish.
that.
It does. And
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It
yeah.
sure
Take care.
does. And like talking to someone who used to dye their hair like all the time, I would have to go like, okay, go home, wash it, and then wash it again, like before coming into class, and then hope to God I didn't like run on anybody.
Yeah.
Because like, yeah, somebody like, Andre, there's purple on the mat. I'm like, okay. Andre, there's like red on the mat. Okay. Andre, there's blue and purple and green and shit on the mat. I'm like,
But I mean, it's not.
so
It's like a
so
thing, like
what you're saying is if I don't see it, then I don't have to clean it, right?
yes,
Well, that's kind of convenient
Perfect.
asking the blind guy.
they'll rub your face in it though. I think like if they're anything like me, they'll just rub your face in it to clean it up.
Yeah,
you get that
they could do
attitude.
that. Because
Yeah, I could do that.
I had one of my female blue belts, and I would claim her until the day that everybody in jiu-jitsu dies, because I got her there. Though I didn't wrap the belt around her waist, but I got her to blue belt, and I'm gonna get her on the podcast. She would come, from work or something, and I'd be like, Summer, look, you don't need to come in makeup. You
Was
are
it just
pretty.
like an insecurity thing to keep it on?
I don't know. Like, I think I ended up having a talk with her. I'm just like, Summer, you don't need to wear makeup. Like, are you just coming from
Well-
work? She goes, oh no, sometimes I have to get sick. I'm like, take it off, cunt. It's all over my gate.
And here's
And
the
she
thing
goes,
no.
oh,
with
okay.
the
dear.
eye
She's
makeup,
like,
right?
oh, really? I've gone, don't worry about it. I mean, there are enough guys that come to my class 15 minutes before it finishes to stand at the door and stare at you. Don't worry.
Oh
I've
my
got
god,
it.
how
It's not-
uncomfortable.
Oh, she didn't know until I told her like a couple months ago. And like, she hasn't
Huh.
trained there since 2019.
Mm.
Yeah, I didn't
But
want to scare
like the
her off.
eye makeup, I can deal with. Like if you got a bit of eyeliner, mascara,
Oh, yeah, a bit
that
of
sort of thing.
eyeliner,
you want-
yeah, that's
Look, no one
fine.
should be touching your eyes anyway. Like we're
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
This isn't. This isn't a little
Exactly.
bitch
It's
fight. You shouldn't be
foundation down on
scratching
the
your
neck
eyes.
and your cheeks and your forehead
Yes.
and stuff. Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you come
it's
in
just
and you got the
whatever's gotta
foundation
run.
and the lipstick and the face is all contoured and look, cunt, I'm not rolling with you because you're gonna fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
no, get
I
that
also
shit
just
off
don't
your
want to
face.
spend the extra time. Like sometimes I've only got 2 gis, but I'm training.
Yes.
Mhm.
I used to, when I was training twice a day, that's a lot of loads of washing. Sometimes I'm just doing a quick wash just to
Yeah.
get it fresh and clean. Not like, scrubbing the spots of blood. Like it takes
Mhm.
time. I don't have time to be
shit,
doing
you
that
scrub the
every
spot of
time.
blood out. I am lazy. Yeah, my geese
Oh.
are just blood stained because no.
Oh my God.
Do you still
Well,
No,
have
you
that
earned
try
those
it.
one,
blood
Michelle?
stains. You'll be
Do you
washing the
still have that-
wisdom out.
That one that had your you said it had grass stains, it had blood stains, and it had
Oh
like
yeah, my
your licked
hillbilly
blue belt.
gi.
Yes.
Hillbilly.
Yeah, my hillbilly gi. It's covered in grass stains from when Corona shut the clubs down, and I was just doing break falls in my backyard 100% by myself.
You know what? It tells a story. Don't wash those out. Oh my God.
I got
Yeah, no,
I
there
got-
is like grass stains all over, like on the collar, on the ass, on the, like it is like covered, and it's just, oh, what were you doing while the gyms were shut down? Well, I just felt comfortable in my
A bit
gi.
of practice.
I got told on one time for having too many blood stains on my gate.
Oh my God. Like this man is a murderer.
You
Yeah,
know
I was-
what
I was a-
though? These fuckers, they get me. I swear to God, it's a gay. I was wearing my blue gi, and I'm like, well, my blue, because my white gi was drying or it had blood on it or something like that. I don't know. But I have my blue gi, and I'm like, well, this is fine because like it's blue, so the blood will come out. Those motherfuckers! It was my competition gi, and it was at judo class. Don't you know? I got a sponsor on each shoulder, and they each got a white patch. Well, where do you think the blood goes?
Oh,
No, the blood
no.
doesn't go on the blue gi. The blood goes on the white sponsor patch and on the white Team Canada patch. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like, why you gotta bleed on the white? Like, there's a little tiny white spot. You gotta
Convenient.
bleed on that? Like, really? Yeah, fucking. So
I-
I don't know. I don't even
touch
know whose
wood.
blood it was. It
Touch
washed
wood,
out eventually.
anytime I've bled or made someone bleed, like nosebleed or anything, it's been this like very comedic and convenient bleed out, either straight onto the mats or straight into their hands. Like when my nose got broken, I immediately shot my hands to my face and it was just pulling in my hands. None of it touched my gi. And I was like, that is a stripe right there. Look at me being convenient and considerate and not bleeding on you. You're welcome. It's not even on the mats. Thank you very much.
I give you a stripe for that.
Thank you. That is a skill right there. No one had to do any extra washing.
It's always
have
always the white gi.
Oh,
No,
God.
because even on the blue gi, they get the white patches, the fuckers.
See? White.
Fuck. How?
I need to get a colored cream.
What did
That's
you had
it.
on, Ray?
I have bled everywhere.
Of course you
Everywhere.
have. You're a menace.
I got it when I got told on for bleeding too much. So I was a purple belt. My
How did
gi
you
was
get
white.
told on for bleeding too much?
How did that
I was tra-
conversation
I was
go?
like-
I
I
feel
was
like if they made you bleed that much, that's their fault.
So my gi was clean. It was the last white gi I've owned until the one that Megan just gave me on Wednesday. Shout out. And because
Megs.
apparently I guess I'm a bleeder, but I was riding with one of the black belts, my old gym, and he was a bigger black belt, and like there was already some blood stains, but my gi was clean, right? It was just washed. He cut me behind my ear, and he's like, oh, you're bleeding. I'm like, oh my god, where, where? He goes, it's everywhere. It's all over you. It's all over me. I'm like, oh shit. I went, I realized, okay, it's from the back of my ear where he cut me. Yeah. Then I washed up. I apologized. I'm so sorry. And then my coach pulls me aside the next day and he's like, oh, Andre, I'm glad you have a different gi on because, I got told it was a bit dirty. I'm like, it wasn't dirty. It was only dirty after he fucking cut me behind the ear. But I've gone, I've washed it.
It's not like you wore it a second time the next day and hadn't washed it.
Still all bloody.
No.
Hey guys.
No.
Oh.
And then I named him and tell such and such. So I said sorry, but he fucking sliced me behind the ear with his elbow. And then my coach goes, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I'm going, yeah, right. There's two sides.
Oh wow.
And then next time I bled all over the mats was in 2016 when I was training with someone for Masters Worlds, and they fucking they pretty much they busted my left eye, so it collapsed and everything went everywhere, everything came out. It you know how
You know what, Andre?
Right?
You forgot
next
the third
time you
one.
could just hold the blood in.
You know how you
just hold it like if you had to pee.
Yeah,
Is that
just
how
suck
it
it back up.
And then there was
Like
that third time in 2022 when I came over to Australia and just fucking destroyed you.
Sorry, I
There
think I
was
need to
that
hear
time,
this
too.
story.
Oh, you'll hear it. You'll hear it when it happens. But basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to come over and I am just going to fucking
You'll probably see it because she'll be training with us. So.
Oh. I see what's
Yeah.
okay. I didn't catch on. I'll get the popcorn.
I am gonna throw him through a wall and just fucking it's gonna I'm gonna
Are you gonna come visit us and train with us?
yeah, that's the plan.
Fuck yeah. Okay, I will not miss that class.
I want to see if
don't. It's gonna
I
be
want to see
funny.
if Kevin will do a women's seminar for Michelle. Because
that'd
the
be
three
awesome.
gyms by that time, and I think she's got with the judo Paralympics, and there should probably be a purple belt by then. I think she's got a decent amount to offer.
Oh fuck it, he would love that. I'm assuming.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
not to speak to Kev, but he's all about that.
Yeah, right.
I've got my self-defense certification too.
Yeah, it doesn't mean shit at me.
Beautiful. We'll get a first aid kit. Couple more. Jesus.
See, and he did. He's being a good bitch.
I was drinking.
Chihuahua.
Oh, that was a peaceful couple seconds.
Drinking.
A what?
A peaceful couple seconds.
Oh,
I was kidding. I shouldn't believe you.
When
Yeah,
so
not
when
if you
get
share
back
the
to-
same mat.
No, when you get back to your gym, tell all the girls to call Andre the Mighty Chihuahua.
Oh god, it's
What?
Yeah, the
Oh,
Mighty
God.
Chihuahua.
They already look at me with filthy looks because I'll I don't know why they don't insult him more. It's funny.
No.
I'll bully
'cause here's the
Andre and they
thing.
look at me like I'm being so disrespectful.
No,
can't
it's
go around
fine. 'Cause
calling
it's
him
just
that.
Andre. It's totally fine. So, because he likes to, he he likes to pull guard, right? So,
Mhm.
and he's really fucking mouthy. So I'm like, well, you're sort of like a little ankle biting chihuahua because you're just like you're short and you're always on the fucking ground yapping off like a little fucking chihuahua. And whenever I threaten to throw him, he will tell you that, I don't like the floor. I'm scared of the floor. So I'm like, okay, well, you just half hate and you're half fear. You're fucking chihuahua.
Oh my god. I don't know if this is
Yeah, right?
pushing it though. He's been very, very lovely and polite to me. Because every time I
No,
sit
no.
down to roll, I go, oh my god, I'm so scared. I'm gonna be respectful to this black belt so he doesn't
Yeah,
kill
but
does
me.
not.
Chihuahua's not,
She does
like
not.
you're
She
not
calls me a
calling him-
bitch and
you're
then
not-
says, "Are we gonna roll?"
Are you saying I do?
Yes, Jazz, you.
kind of
no,
are a bitch.
I'm so polite, Andre. No. I think you're mishearing. I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to someone else, sure.
It's okay, Andre.
Call
It's
one of
just
the
the
other
brain
women a
damage
bit.
talking.
Andre, you can't. Andre,
Oh,
you can't
if you
fucking
Jazz,
see. How would you know if she's looking at someone else and calling them a bitch and then turning to you and
Oh.
going, "Hey, do you want to?" like-
that is true.
I was
She
thinking
it
it,
could
she
be
was
one of her
saying
best
it, okay?
friends.
That
You
is
know,
Hey,
she's
true.
other
sitting there-
blind people can call each other blind. It's fine.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
it's like it's. I'm not gonna go there. But
I was gonna say, look, if Jazz was too polite to me, I wouldn't have asked her to come on.
Exactly. I think we
yeah,
struck
she
a
wouldn't have
balance,
been a
but I
good fit then.
don't think that other people at the gym understand what we've got going on here because everyone's starting to slowly come back. So I think there's quite a few people
Yeah.
meeting you for the first time. But here I am, like we'll go to bow to each other. There was one class I'm like sitting against the wall because I was injured. I was just watching. And instead of like walking around, they just have Andre standing there like a nong, just so everyone can walk up to him. But I think it was Coach Maddie spun you around and I yelled out to keep spinning you so you'd get dizzy and fall over.
Yeah.
Which is funny to you and me because we've met a few times, I guess. I might have been pushing it a bit, but everyone else in that line gave me the biggest stink eyes, and I was like, "Oh,
you know
fuck.
what though? They
I look
do that,
awful."
man. They do that because my old gi coach before he moved to Mexico, me and him, I mean, we would crack joke. He would make all the blind jokes all the time, and I just thought it was fucking hysterical. But he knew it's fine. Like I knew he teases you a bit like that. It shows you're one of his friends. So I mean, we were in the middle of class, and he had done a technique, and I had missed something like a grip or something like that, and I was just like. I'm like, oh, hey, Tyler, can you show me, the grip or the whatever it was that I missed? And he comes over and he's loud like me, right? So he goes, fuck, Michelle, you're blind, not deaf. I explained it. I said, yeah, but I'm fucking stupid too, so I didn't pick it up. And he just starts laughing hysterically. And I went, what? He goes, that fucking new guy over there, his jaw just hit the floor as soon as I said you're blind.
Oh my god.
He's
They're
like,
all
he thinks
offended
I'm being
for
such
you.
a prick right now. I was just laughing, man.
Oh god.
If you
My
want a good
defense so
laugh,
far to these new people has been, look, it's not like he doesn't know he's blind.
yeah, right.
He just, oh wait, fuck,
Exactly.
you guys
Oh,
don't want
Andre,
to
you
see
should do
nothing?
that next time. Am I blind?
Yeah, you should
I think I
But you
did
guys
recently.
can see?
Like, what do you mean? Everyone's not like this? So what do you mean it's just me? I honestly no, Jazz. You should, if you want a laugh, you should listen to Joey. He makes all the blind jokes.
Joey sounds very polite. Actually,
He's
until the
not.
latest class. Latest class, he was lovely. But he was. What was happening?
He's getting comfortable. That's
He's getting
what's happening.
yeah. It was
know,
that class. I was like, you are getting comfortable, and he's starting to insult you. So now I've got permission. We're just laying into
yeah,
each other.
pretty
I was like,
much.
perfect.
I just think it's really funny though that that's like the taboo. Like, don't make fun of the blind guy. We were in wrestling, I think, on Wednesday. Yeah, I don't know, it was a little while ago. We were doing wrestling class and we were doing this like foot sweep where you drive your hips forward and then you kind of shoot your hips forward and then down to the ground. You're almost doing like a little body wave kind of thing. And I went and I did, and as soon as the coach walks by, right, I go to do it and I fuck it up, and he goes, Michelle, that was poop. I said, poop. I said, oh my God, you just been saying fuck for how long, and now you can't say shit? And he goes, no, this is a fucking family class. Don't be a cunt. I said, how can I not be a cunt? I said, you're telling me to shoot my hips forward. This move is all cunt. I mean, we can say that, but you can't make the blind jokes or people go, oh my God.
Jesus. Look, there's a fine line. We're just not sure where the line is.
I think it's kind of, I don't know, about 1.5 kilometers back.
Fuck, they keep blurring it and we can't see it, so who fucking cares? That's my excuse. I get to step over it. Then let me show you crossing the line. I can't see the line. Fuck you.
Oh, good Lord. Look, I think it would have been more insulting if I didn't make fun of Andre, you know?
That's
I
what-
think it is. Like
that's what
in
Joey says,
my
yeah.
little world, it's
I
more
know,
insulting
right?
because it's like, if you're gonna make fun of your friend for being bald or being fat or being, shitty at jujitsu, whatever it is, you're gonna make fun of your friend, but then you're gonna, oh no, we gotta be really nice to Michelle. What, bitch? I'm not an idiot. I know that I can't see. Like, don't fuck it. Like, Jesus Christ, Unless I'm signing your paycheck, don't be kissing my ass. Like,
I love that. I love that.
Oh my God, you guys. So like in our gym, sort of one of the gym etiquette rules is, until they get striped on one stripe on their white belt, you don't really submit them. So after I got my first stripe on my white belt and everyone started like submitting me and stuff, I got home from jiu-jitsu one night and the first thing I did was send a text message, and I'm just like, I'm so happy I'm crying. I like said to my coach, I'm like, such and such submitted me, they don't give a shit, I can't see. And it's so awesome. And they submitted me like 10 times in a round, and shut up, Siri.
well, but
And I'm like,
if
I'm
you
so
talk to
happy. And they're like, okay, that's good.
This
Well, 'cause
bitch
it
crazy.
is.
What the fuck?
But it is. It's because you get people like, I swear to God, I was at one of these like politically correct meetings at work, like last year or something
Oh.
like that, about how like we need to be nice to everybody because everybody's a victim and it's Oppression Olympics. And I'm like, maybe you just treat everyone the same, and stop playing Oppression Olympics. But they come up with this term diversability. And I went, what the fuck is a diversability? Yeah, and that's what I went. I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm talking to some of my friends and said, have you guys ever heard? I said, what the fuck is a diverse? And they said, what? No, I never heard of that. So I'm like, and they said, well, it's because disability is offensive. I said, bitch, I have a lack of vision. I don't have fucking X-ray vision or infrared or night vision. Like, it's
Call it what it is.
it's a lack of, like, let's call it what I don't have fucking diverse vision. If I did, I would have a car. Okay. Like, so, but I mean, it's just that, like, yeah, it's like, well, you treat, I mean, I go into the boxing class and I get punched in the nose. They don't care. And I mean, the coach makes blind jokes all the time. He just like it, and I don't care. He treats me the same as he treats everyone else. Like when he was showing the wrestling move, he goes, yeah, guys, I just showed this to Michelle and it really resonated with her because she can't fucking see it. So like, it's just a straight face, right? I'm like, you know what I mean? But then like he was cleaning up one of the guys got blood in his eye sparring, and he goes, what, you didn't want to be blind? And I was bugging him because there's me and there was this other guy who's blind who'd come and talking about taking jujitsu classes, and I said, oh, isn't blind guys your specialty? He goes, no, blowjobs is. And like just straight fucking fat. I'm like, you fucking asshole.
Jesus.
But he's gonna make those kind of jokes with everybody, right? So it's like, if you were just like not bugging me and bugging everybody else, like that would be the what the fuck, you know what I mean? Or like if people are like, oh no, we're not gonna submit Michelle, but you submit everybody else, what the
I can
fuck?
only imagine
right?
you would be pissed off if you were trying to roll and everyone was too busy trying to be like trying not to mention it like it was
Trying
an
to be
elephant
nice.
in the room, and
Yeah.
never submit you
Mhm.
because they're like, you wouldn't be able to do the sport.
Well, and
Yeah.
to me, I train for self-defense. I know, look, I would love nothing more than to get locked in a cage and compete in an MMA fight. As stupid as that is, I love the sport. I know I'd probably lose. I don't care. I would love to do it. I'm not going to be allowed to, but, but at the same time, so okay, I know I'm not training to be a pro MMA fighter. I am training for self-defense. So you're
Yeah.
not doing me any favors if you don't punch me because I won't see it coming, or you don't take me
Mhm.
down because I won't listen. Dude in the back alley trying to take my purse, he's not going to give a fuck that I can't see what he's going to
Yeah.
use that to his
He's
advantage.
probably
So
chosen
if
you
you
because
want
of
to
that.
do me any favors, you better hit
Yes,
me. You
right,
better
Beck?
submit me, and you better
Mm.
go hard. Right?
And you're a full-blown adult who's decided to step on
Oh,
the
yeah.
mats. You're not under any illusion that you're not
No,
going to
I've
get
been doing
roughed
it for
up.
5 years. I'm not under any holy fuck, you can get punched in boxing? Wow.
What?
No one told me that when I started.
Have you had people like you can feel they're treating you differently and holding you back? Like if you had to sit someone down and go, fucking go for it.
I have had it.
I have.
Yeah, I have had it happen, but I tend to not sit them down. What happens is they start holding back, and it's usually the newer people, right? Like the people that are new to the club, new to the sport, whatever. They kind of hold back and they go, oh, right, because they'll see me looking at my phone or something, for example, and they see that I can't see well, and they kind of oh, and they hold back,
Why
and
are
then
you
I'm like,
sniffing your phone?
fuck you. So I start to squish them, or I throw them, I pin them, I tap them out, I do whatever I'm gonna do. I just start fucking them up, and then they go, fuck you.
They catch on real quick.
Yep.
They catch on real quick. Oh yeah, no, I'm not doing this
Make
anymore.
them regret pitying you.
I actually used to run into that all the time, like doing no gi especially, because it wasn't always and now look, I've been doing this for a long time. Before ranked rash guards were a thing, so
Okay.
people
Wow.
didn't. So people didn't know what else
You're
is this.
old.
See this? Yeah. That's surprising. Every year, every year it keeps changing. It shits me.
Holy fuck, really?
Yeah, yeah. So new people and stuff. They'd be like, oh, whatever instructor I was at the time. They used to love it. They'd be like, hey, go with Andre. I'm like, oh, God, a new guy, great. And they'd be like, are you okay, bro? Yeah, dude, I'm fine. Are you okay? And like, yeah, okay, yeah. It's but it gets hectic. Yeah, dude, it's fine. Don't worry. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I've got them in an armbar. I've got them in a fucking guillotine. And they're like, oh shit. Oh, you trained before? Yeah, I've trained before. Yeah,
Oh my
before. Yeah,
God.
definitely before.
They didn't ask you. I feel like if I don't know someone's rank, I'll ask them what they are.
Yeah.
Just so I know
so
what I'm getting into.
I would just fucking wipe the floor with these dudes. My older son to get it was a good thing. It was tap him 3 times and then help him out.
Mm.
So I tap him 3 times. They're like, okay, I'll try now. Okay, but I wasn't trying either. So do you want me to try? Well, you do what you want, bro. You do what? Okay. All right, I'll keep going easy. And I would do that for another 10 minutes. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try now. And they're like, what belt are you?
Let go of the ego.
Doesn't matter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, does it?
So bizarre. At the end of the day, the people sitting in front of you, even if I look at someone and I'm like, you look fucking ancient. They are a full-blown adult that has sat down in front of me ready to roll.
Yeah.
I'm going to suss them out regardless. But they've made that decision if they're rolling with an injury. I'm not going to set out to kill them no matter who they are.
God.
But I'm not going to hold back either and pretend like they can't make their own decision. They haven't accepted that they're about to get squashed by me. So I'm not going to dance around them. Sitting in front of you for the first time, Andre, I was like, this man's a black belt. He'll fucking kill me.
Yeah, see, but you knew that already. You knew that pride going into it. So you knew I've been around for a while. I know what I'm doing.
And I'm
But I
still
think-
gonna kick your ass.
yeah, well, like you wish, woman.
It's also
Well, like,
what I
couple-
know.
You
well,
wait,
like,
you wait.
Well, like some of the other guys at the gym, because they are getting to know me, they don't know what rank I am. I turn up to Matt's
Mm.
class,
Mm.
quite enjoy Matt's class a lot actually, and they'll roll, and like I can tell, I can see it. Well, no, I don't see it on them, but you can just tell.
Yeah.
They're all like they try to go easy the first 2 seconds until I sweep them.
Mm.
And then like they feel like top pressure, and then it's like trying, not
You hit
working,
the
not
OS
working, not
button.
working.
No shit button.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well,
Um,
and this is the
yeah.
thing. Like, I mean, especially judo is the easier one because everyone's in a gi wearing a belt. So, I mean, I can see generally when someone's like a yellow belt or an orange belt, I'm not going to go full force on them. Dude who's like a belt level below me, look, you're still a dude. You're stronger. I'm going to go harder with you, right? But even then,
Yeah.
I know a guy there's a guy who trains at my club. He's a yellow belt, but he's got a wrestling background. He's built like a fucking brick shit house, man. He's just huge and strong and with a wrestling background. Yeah, he's a yellow belt. I can't give him an inch. I can't. Versus there are some, a black belt will come and I'm like, okay, well, like this is, like a national champion black belt. And like I've had this happen. Dude's like 20, 21 years old, national champion in judo, blah, blah, blah. Like very, very, good on the feet. He's gonna toss me on the ground. He's just like, oh fuck. And he's just like, no, like I'm scared. He's like, you're jits girl. Like I don't like. I'm like, I've only been training for like 5 years. He's like, that's not better. But
He
like
knows it's a different game.
for me,
Yeah.
I kind of go, okay, especially training more no-gi. I'm like, well, how long have you been training? Right. And if someone says, oh, a couple months, okay, like I might get in mount. And then I'm going to give you some space, right? My weight's going to be on my hands and my knees. I'm going to give you some space to move. If you're really giving me your arm, yeah, I'm going to take it so that you learn not to do that.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to give
And
you
you're
some
not going
time
to
get
lay
out.
on them for the full 6 minutes and just,
No.
make them wish they could
Versus-
die.
Like I recently, this past week, I was training with this woman and she was like, I didn't know how long, but we started rolling and I knew she knew something. And she said, well, I've taken a bit of a break. And I'm like, okay, but like the way she's moving, she knows something. She's not a white belt. So I said, well, you know what, how old are you? Oh, I'm 22. When did you start training? Oh, when I was 12. What the fuck?
Wow, that's a break.
So like this woman, oh,
Wow.
so
I
I go,
thought
well, I don't have
8
to
years
be.
was bad.
But
Jesus.
10 years.
Yeah, it's so
10
worth
and then
asking
my
beforehand.
training partner comes over and she goes, did you fucking know this woman was a purple belt? I said, well, I had an idea last night when she was wearing the purple rash guard.
Wait,
I had an
how
idea
did she
she
get?
might be, but I said, and then she told me that she started training when she was 12 and I kind of knew she had to, be in like her 20s or so. So I figured she'd been,
Oh, like she didn't get her purple belt at 12. I got you. I'm like, what?
she didn't get it at 12, no.
No.
But
Oh,
she'd been training for like I think she had she said she took like a couple of years off, but she's still been training like twice as long as me.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Or I guess
Wow.
not. Maybe not. Like I've been training for almost 5 years. I keep forgetting that. I'm exaggerating. But yeah, she still had a couple of years more training than me. She was a belt level above me. But still, I'm just like, okay. Well, again, like you see, the competition team, I was able to throw her, I was able to pin her, I was able to submit her. So I'm like, all right. And I am not by any means trying to knock this woman at all. I'm not, she was strong, she was tough. She definitely, she made me work for everything that I got. But it's just, you come back to, right? Belt levels at different clubs, depending recreational competition, blah, 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 blah. Right. And it's like, but for her, of course I treated her differently than I'm going to treat the white belt. You've been training since you were 12. I'm not
But she
giving
was
you
coming
I'm
back
not giving
too,
you space
so
to escape. right?
probably weren't treating her the same way as you would treat a seasoned purple belt that hasn't come off a
No,
break.
like I mean, I'm not gonna go hard on her where, like one of my regular training partners where I'm like, I know what you know, and I know you're getting ready for a fight, or I know you're, whatever. Like, I know she was just getting back into it. So, okay, I'm not going to go hard. That being said, the way she was moving, I'm not giving her, 6 inches of space in mount either. Like,
No, you can definitely fill a person out. Like, I had this happen in the no hit class on Tuesday, a week or two ago. Jazz, do you know Warren?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is he back?
Warren. Okay, so yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
Oh,
because
he's
I
there.
had a wrestle with him,
Nice.
and I was just like, oh, cool. I don't know how long this dude's been training. I'm like, he feels pretty strong. Cool. So I did like my shin to shin. I went up, around, and I locked off, a heel hook, and I waited. Nothing was happening. Like, okay, dude. And then I just started to apply very, very slowly. And he's like, the minute he taps, he goes, oh, you young guys with the heel hooks and with your leg attacks. I'm like, bro, I'm not young, but okay, no worries.
No, you're not.
I don't know how to have to do it again. It's all good. He goes, oh no, it's fine. I've gone, okay, no worries. And then kept rolling, swept him on top. I hit a head arm triangle, right? But now I was cinching it up, and he taps. And then he tells me afterwards how I could have done it better.
Oh, bitch.
And I'm like, no,
That's how you die.
He goes, oh, the arm triangle? I'm like, yeah, I do actually, yeah. He goes, yeah. He goes, you needed to be, because I went to 3/4 mount. I was going to that shin across the waist, and I didn't actually get to apply pressure, like, because when I was just cinching it up, he ended up tapping, and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Like, was that a neck crank? He goes, no, that was fine. He goes, oh yeah, but what you need to do is like knees to the floor. I'm like,
what you need to do is not tap.
Did he think?
Well, he didn't know. He had no idea. And I've just gone, well, I've gone, you're not wrong. I've gone, but I hadn't finished.
Yeah.
He goes, what do you mean?
Right.
I hadn't finished. Yeah, I hadn't finished. Like, my arms were in the right position. I was cinching it up. I'm like, yeah, I had some pressure on, but like, I wasn't finished. Like, I'll finish it from there, but I'll get up on the balls of my feet and do this. And then if you're not tapping, then I won't come to my knees, bro, but I want to do else I'll flatten out.
Oh,
goes, yeah. Sorry?
You do it from your knees.
No.
Okay. I was gonna sound like I don't do mine from my knees.
No. No one does it from the knees. And then we kept rolling.
I know people that do. You need to train more judo.
Yeah, and then we kept rolling and finished. Like, I was on his back and trying to strangle him. He was like grabbing my fingers and stuff. And he goes, oh, thanks, man. I'm like, no, thank you. And he goes, what belt are you? I've gone, do you really want to know?
Should have just been like, I'm a white belt, just with a lot of experience.
Yeah, I've got to tell you.
White
Yeah,
belt
I've got
plus
to tell
5.
Yeah, still learning.
No, because like he was doing the I will offer advice, like, when you tap me kind of thing.
Oh, fuck.
And like, and I know as soon as I said black belt, he would have felt just a bit shit. Like, what the fuck was I saying?
He I think, if I'm like thinking correctly who it is, I think he's just come back to, like, he may have been tapping early just to not risk, getting hurt or whatever.
That's fair.
Like, I'm wondering if maybe he was, just like kind of avoiding taking it too far, and then was just like, if you were applying it really slowly, then maybe it was like thinking you were unsure.
He let the heel hook go a little bit further than I was a bit comfortable with. Yeah. Oh no. Look, I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying, like, he didn't know like where my leg was at. He was just trying to offer some advice.
See, and this is which is love, right?
Yeah.
Like, me and
someone go.
I think we just broke Zoom.
We did. We killed it. We broke the internet, but that's just because we're awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, like me and Maria will do that a lot when we're training together. Now, I mean, she's a white belt and I'm a blue belt. But that being said, she'd been training at Shido for 3 years as is, and she'd been training a lot longer before that. So I mean, to me, I roll with her, and I'm just like, fuck, I have more trouble with you, Miss, I'm a white belt, than I do with some friggin' purple and brown belts. Like, Jesus Christ, you know? I mean, the girl's got skills and she doesn't give herself credit for them. But that being said, me and her will be doing a drill. Or even if we're rolling or something like that. And then after the roll, if she says to me, oh, hey, you know, that, you know, like this drill that we're doing, yeah, you know, you let go of the choke here. I was about to tap and you like it. Oh, fuck. Shit. Thanks for letting me know. Like her, I don't care. You know, if she says, oh yeah, like here's this, you know, this was really close or this was really good or this is how you tighten that up. Look, I'm going to listen. This is a professional fighter. This is someone who I respect and as a training partner, and she's been training for years. So, I mean, yeah, she's a white belt, but like there is a difference between a Toshido white belt and a white belt. And I mean, we all kind of say that. It's just like a little thing that me and the girls kind of like, no, like there's difference. But I've also had it happen at the recreational clubs too, where like these guys would be like, oh, yeah, well, if you just sit the fuck down and shut up. Like you have done 3 classes. You've done no training before. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't try to coach me. Like it, you know, if it didn't work, why'd you tap? You know?
I know, right? And like, I get a bit of criticism from my 3/4 mount, like, you know, balls on the feet, drive down, like head arm triangle. But like, as soon as people go, oh, why do you do that? And I said, well, when I was at Hanzo's, Chris Weidman did it to about fucking 10 people in a row. And then he went and did it to Calvin Gastelum in the UFC. So I figured it's probably pretty fucking good, eh?
Yeah. You'll have to show me that one when I come train with
successful.
you, and then I'll show you the little variation of the head, because head and arm is one of my favorite chokes, and there's a little variation of it that we do
I
at
get a lot.
Toshido. And no, I do too. My last competition, that was one of my submissions was the head and arm.
Yeah.
Actually, I got in the position for it twice, and Chick gave it to me twice.
Is this before or after you throw him through the wall?
This was after. I put on a fucking takedown clinic at that competition. That was just funny. But I mean, that was me going against jiu-jitsu girls. So
no. We need to get the footage of you doing that.
I know
and
my
then
mom
post it up
didn't
on the...
fucking get it, Mom. You.
Oh.
I love
Next
my
one.
mother. Listen,
Next
I
one.
love my mother, and she did get like one of my takedown clinic matches.
Oh, yeah,
but,
that one do too.
Yeah, but like she missed every one of my submissions. I'm like, Mom, like she missed my whole first division. She didn't show up because she got lost, and I'm like, I submitted 2 out of 3 of my opponents, and you didn't get it. And then my last one, she got the competition, and then like I got the girl in the position. And she was like, oh, it's over. And she turned off the camera. And that's when I fucking Kimura the girl. And I'm like, Mom.
She was right, though.
Gotta train Mum up better.
I love her, but her camera skills need work.
Yeah, but she was right. She's like, it's over.
It was over because I was ragdolling the poor girl. And this was the little sweetheart who was like, I read an article about you. I came here just to fight you. And I was like, aw. Well, sweetie, you're going to get what you came for today, but I mean, thank you.
First-hand experience. Let's go.
Well, she actually did because she had read an article about me from Judo Canada, and she's like, yeah, I just seen everything. She's like, I had to come fight you. And this was like right before our second match because we did the gi division together. And fuck, how shitty is that? You read an article about this judo chick and then you go fight her in the gi. That's got to be fun.
Look,
but
research. It's not that she didn't not know what was going to happen.
Well, she said right. She said she comes up and she's like, I came here to fight you, and I'm like, that's so sweet.
Exactly. We can't insult her intelligence here. She knows what was going to happen.
Yeah.
No, she knew what was gonna happen, but I mean, it was just so kind of like, I'm a dick. I like threw her with some pretty nasty throws.
By the way, I just
Oh.
realized how late it's getting. I'm gonna have to head off soon.
No
Righto.
worries.
No, we had a
Thanks for
mild
hanging out
hurricane
with
that
us.
interrupted us.
Yeah.
No, it was so lovely meeting you guys. This was so fun.
Please start spreading that mighty Chihuahua nickname for me. I really want everyone to be calling
fuck's sake.
Andre that
Oh
by the
God,
time I
poor
come over
Andre.
for the seminar.
I do
right.
have to be careful about the fact that I am still a pee-wee little blue belt, and he could kill me. Okay.
No, he can't. He can't go 100% with you. You're a female and a blue belt. He can't. If he does that, he's gonna get smashed.
Yeah, I'm a woman's. Don't
Yeah.
touch me, Andre.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
you know, if the guys start calling me
He'll
that,
just
yeah,
take it out on
it's-
the
it's
next
all off
guy
limits.
blue belt that he rolls with after you.
Yeah, they match us up for roles, and the next
See,
guy
what's
goes,
gonna
"Oh,
happen
shoot."
is like he's gonna be taking it out on some guy, and he's gonna be calling him your name and just really that fucking shit.
Oh my god.
choking them, and it's gonna be really weird. And then that guy's gonna be going and beating up some lower belt guy. Fucking Andre, and it's gonna eventually get back to you, and then you're gonna be smashing some blue belt and calling him like Phil or something like that.
I'm gonna see Andre again like 10 years down the line. However long
With
it
your
takes.
black
I'll
belt.
have my black belt, and
Yeah.
Oh
they'll
fuck!
set us
Can
up
I
and I'll
help?
be like, you know what?
Can I
Today's
help?
the day I retire.
Can I help?
Can
Like
you
when
help,
you get your
Jesus?
black belt, I'll have my black
Can you
belt
help with
too,
what?
probably, and I just want to help have 2 female black belts just kick the
Yes.
shit out of you.
Oh my god. You can take the legs, I'll take the arms.
Yeah. Okay, you
Perfect.
got the arm bars, I got the heel hooks.
Perfect.
Awesome. Beck, do you want the neck?
Uh.
Do you want to do the chokes? You should be at least a brown belt by then. If we're both black, you'll be brown.
Good plan. We should have kicked him out of the call before we discussed this.
Oh no, it's better that he knows. It's better that he knows so he can mentally prepare.
True. We don't want you to cry after, Andre.
I know. Oh fuck! Can you
Hey,
imagine?
hey.
Like you kick his ass
Hey,
and then he's just
I'm
curled
gonna
up in a
cry
little ball,
anyway.
crying like a bitch.
Fetal position.
Oh.
We start to feel bad.
Oh,
no.
hugging his knees to his chest.
Oh
Oh god,
Hey, I
Oh,
did that at
you're
Hanzo's like almost every
pathetic.
day.
you're pathetic.
Is that
did-
sweat or
I-
tears?
Yeah, well, actually, at Hanzo's, honestly, I was like, I don't know if it's sweat or tears. So I get beat up so bad, it's insane. You don't understand. You don't
It's-
I
understand.
feel like
I'm
Like-
not crying.
do
My
that,
eyes are
like-
just sweating.
you
Yeah.
did that same thing when I said that I was gonna use my aerials to drop down and choke you out. After I threw you, when you fucking lied to me and said that there was a drop bear thing in Australia, you fucking liar.
Drop bears.
He told me that what I was telling him I was gonna do to him was a drop bear attack. And I'm like, no,
Oh
bitch,
my
because I
God.
started on the floor to throw you. First of all, I started on the ground to fucking throw you, and I just climbed up to the ceiling to kill you. That's it. There's a difference.
I would pay
I
to
nearly
see
shot
that.
cider out my nose. It hurts.
You see, Beck knew drop bears were bullshit as well.
Don't throw me under the bus.
Good
Shut up,
lord.
I need something.
Listen, Andre, you got to keep in mind, I am from Canada, sir. We have cougars here, and those bitches do drop down on you from trees. So, like, we have massive cats that will jump out of trees to try to kill you. It's not
My
a far
God.
stretch that a bear would do that. God.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
can you
but a
imagine a
koala?
grizzly bear jumping out of a tree? Fuck.
No, it'd be a black bear, though. Grizzlies
like-
can't climb, but black bears can.
Mm.
Those
Drop
motherfuckers,
bears,
they'll be
it's
up
like
in-
the myth that you tell kids when you go camping so that they don't leave their tents at night.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And
Or
you tell
or
them-
what
you
tell
tell them
tourists.
to protect yourself against them. Like if you have to leave your tent, you put Vegemite on your nose to protect yourself against them. So then you know if the kids snuck out, because in the morning they show up and they haven't been able to wash the Vegemite off their nose and they've got black noses.
I didn't know that one.
I've
That is
never heard
so
that one.
awesome.
This is what you get from working with kids.
Oh, that was so good, Jazz. Yeah,
Very
No,
goddamn.
funny.
his reason what I told him I was gonna throw him through a wall and then I was gonna run away. And because he can't see, so he wouldn't know where I went. And then I was gonna use my aerials. I was gonna climb up to the ceiling. I was gonna wait for him to walk by, and I was gonna drop down from the ceiling and put him in a rear naked choke. And he's like, "What you just described is a drop bear attack."
I mean, it is. It is.
Kinda
It's
is,
not
yeah.
wrong. It just is quite fictional.
Except I
Oh,
don't
we'll
think
make
it
it.
would
We'll make
rear
it real.
naked choke.
We'll
You would
make
probably
it real.
just claw your face out and then your throat. But
Well,
Yeah,
anyway.
but then I forgot to
I
tell
mean-
Michelle that it doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, but I got the MMA, so I can, instead of clawing your face out, I can punch your face in.
Look, I think you should patent the name for that already. Drop bear attack. Coming in from above.
I feel like I
Yeah.
really
I
should,
think it
like,
could
because
stick.
with my aerial stuff, like I will climb up like 25 feet in the air and just be spinning from silk or whatever up in the ceiling, and then
From silk.
like yeah, like
She
legit,
does.
just spinning from the silk up on the ceiling, and then I'll just be like, I don't fucking like you, sir, and I'll just drop down. and
This is
go.
a very specific fighting arena that you're describing. Like
I am
very
I am
niche.
going to need
Silk
30.
hanging from the ceiling.
I'm going to need a 60-foot piece of silk folded in half, hanging from the
In
middle
any
of the
room
ring.
that I'm in at any time.
Yeah, like just always. I just need a piece of silk hanging from the ceiling at all times.
Or you could carry it with you and just like whip it like they described, like Rapunzel whipping her hair onto
But-
beams, and then you can like swing from it just at
I
any
could,
given moment.
But I feel like then I'm doing more of a Wonder Woman with the lasso instead of a drop bear.
Look, why stop at like the silks? I think you got to go all
I
the way
can
and
also
like
do it
embrace
from a
the Wonder
hoop.
Woman.
I can also do it from a steel hoop or from a pole. So like
listen to you. You can't be stopped.
it really depends. When you die, you want the last thing you see to be a beautiful piece of silk whipping at your face, a steel ring, or a chrome pole. Like it's really
I
up to
appreciate
you.
the
but-
choice.
Yeah,
I don't know. Can you
I
paint
feel like
the
you
pole
should
pretty
have
colors
variety.
with
I mean,
sparkles
if
and
you
shit?
get to choose, you can, but I don't really want glitter on my butt cheek, and I'm concerned about how well my skin would stick to a non chrome or steel material. So you've got to consider your attacker in this, and I just feel that you know we have a variety. I mean, you could be buried, you could be cremated, you could get a Viking
Oh.
funeral, you can be made into a fucking tree, right? So I mean, like with the variety of options there, I feel like myself giving you the option of a silk, a pole, or a hoop in terms of death. Really, I'm actually not providing a whole lot of options. So the fact that you're getting any, like, you're welcome.
What I'm mostly
I
concerned
can
about,
also just do it from the
is-
ground or from standing.
what I'm mostly concerned about is the roof at the Brookvale gym is
That's
quite
okay. I'm
high.
used to being
Yeah,
30
you
feet.
gotta have a lot of room.
Yeah,
for
you
silks.
got
Yeah, so yeah, so what I'm concerned about is it's high enough for Michelle to actually fucking do what she wants to do.
I don't think I'm
I
in
love
any position.
it.
to
He's like, I'm
question
not
whether she can do
concerned
this
that
or
I
not.
lied to her, and I'm just concerned that she could actually do it.
Jesus. So what I'm getting from this is when Michelle does
Yeah.
travel and come here to train, we're going to be in an
Oh
outdoor
no, guys!
arena.
Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Indoor.
Yes,
I have
yeah.
no. I have an aerial stand.
Oh.
It is portable. I will bring it. It's fine. And I have a silk as well.
Oh my god.
Okay, look,
Yeah.
next time you get me on the show, I will have some kind of counter to this. Okay, I'll plan.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Nice.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yes.
like, here's the thing. I'll just bring my silk. It's wine. It's a wine red, actually. And what we can do, because Andre can't fucking see. So I mean, as long as we have it, like, Andre's pretty short, so I feel like if we have it, just so that it's wrapped up so that it only hangs down. Like if we have like a 5-foot clearance for him to walk under, right? He's pretty short.
Yeah, it's
the little
hardly like he's
chihuahua.
doing
Taller
cardio.
than
and
that.
he's
Well,
gonna-
Well, I'm safe
Well,
because I'm
I
only
mean, we can always
5'2",
just put we
so
can pull
I'm
it off
good.
to the side. Yeah, well, I feel
I
like
expect an invite, by the
in
way.
my mind, Andre is like, in my
Yeah, but
mind,
Beck,
Andre's
you're not
like
getting
5'1".
attacked.
No,
That's
no, I'm not
true.
gonna attack Beck. Beck, you're a white belt. So I'm not gonna attack
Michelle
you.
likes
In
me.
my brain, Andre's like 5'1". Yeah, I do like you. You're good. You're good people. You do some striking. You do some judo. You're good people. But
Don't
Andre,
try.
no, bitch, you're blind. Shut up. So
Have we crossed the line yet?
I feel like I crossed the line at the uncle and the priest remarks, so I think we're
I
kind of
think
done.
the line was way
Anyone who
back
made it
then.
hours
past that,
ago.
like they're fine.
What the
Like, yeah,
fuck?
like if you made it
Jesus.
past that, like you're fine. We're good.
Oh my god. And on that note, I am going to have to leave it there.
No worries.
Love and leave you guys.
Oh, Jess, thank you.
Cool and
coming
the
on.
priest.
Really,
No,
really love it.
this is a pleasure. A very confusing podcast session. I did not know what to expect, and I don't think I could have guessed.
No,
No,
you really
no,
can't.
yeah.
No,
This is
and
it.
to be fair, I don't
Yeah.
think we
Yeah.
knew what was going on.
Do we ever know what's going on? Like, do
Look, if it's
Not-
scripted, then
not
I'd be
really.
concerned.
Yeah, not really. Because like Beck and Michelle don't keep up with like jiu-jitsu news, so I can't be like, hey, Tom the Blast did this. Hey, such and such did this. Hey, Sanjay Rivera's doing this. And it's like,
I'm very
what?
new
No?
to keeping up with jiu-jitsu news,
Yeah.
so
keep up with you?
I can't offer you that either.
So I find, yeah. Oh, okay, you're true. But yeah, if we do watch the fights, then we will talk about it. Or sometimes
Yeah,
watch
we
them
should
all
do that
together
my
again.
God.
online.
Did you guys see fucking 269?
Yes,
No.
that was
I am.
hectic.
I can't believe Amanda Nunes didn't fight on that card at all because that didn't happen. I'm just really
very
upset.
surprised.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
she's
think
still
she
got
lost.
another belt.
Yeah,
Yet,
that's why I
Michelle
wrote
was-
she did not fight on that card at all. I just can't believe that
Ah.
they pulled her fight from the card entirely and it never happened. I'm just really,
So, okay. 155 belt.
yeah, I know. Well, she's not. She posted on Instagram saying like, and everything. She's like, if you think I'm going out unbalanced, like
Oh,
you're
yeah,
wrong.
right.
So I'm like, oh,
She'll come
coming.
back better.
She's coming for
Oh
that.
my
100%.
god, that
Yeah.
attitude.
And
The attitude.
Misha Tate's still in there. She's my fucking future wife.
Says the man with the girlfriend.
You better let him know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I don't want to keep Jazzy
Alright.
longer than we have to.
Yes, I keep getting excited. I keep talking. Thank you very much. Please do invite
Oh,
me back
no.
on again if
Yeah,
the
definitely.
popular enough.
You-
This is great.
You
Awesome.
will be back, like 100%.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah. Fuck yeah. And then we can all start planning my competition strategy.
Yes.
You can hype me up.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus.
Let me know when you want to compete. Let me know. I'll help out.
Yeah, 100%. Look
That'd
at
be
what
good.
there is. I was so heartbroken when it got cancelled. So
Yeah. Look,
Let's just set my sights forward.
there are some good
Damn
tournaments
COVID.
like going around. I would recommend like a grappling, like a grappling industries or something. Or yeah. We'll find it. We will find it.
we'll give it a
Yeah.
Google.
Women
Yeah.
like to
Alright, it
pull
was a
guard, so
pleasure,
just foot
everybody.
sweep them.
I know when you said that, I was like, okay, no.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
they like to pull
Yeah, no.
guard. So like if you foot sweep them, you as they're pulling guard, you get points for the takedown, which is
Yeah.
really funny.
And
It just fucks them up.
the good thing is pretty much know they're going to pull guard.
Yeah.
And like Kevin and all
Pretty
that
much.
trained Grace Barb so long.
Oop, the internet's
Pull
broken.
guard.
Yeah.
Let's stop publicly discussing my approach.
Yeah, we will.
Yep.
Because
Smash it,
you know
fine.
they'll all be studying up on me, obviously.
Yes.
Well, that'll make him watch the podcast.
No, you'll be
so
fine.
let's do
You're gonna
that.
destroy 'em.
Oh my god, that's
They
true.
will get
Hang on, Will.
past the uncle priest part. You're totally
Yeah.
fine.
Oh good lord! Anyone who gets
Just
past
give me
that
like-
part deserves to have a little
2 minutes.
insight on my
That's
game.
Yeah.
Let's see how long it takes
All
YouTube
right,
to
thank
ban
you,
that.
thank you, everybody.
All right.
I'm gonna force myself
Awesome,
to leave
Mandy.
now.
Okay.
Catch
Thank
ya.
you,
It's been a
Jazz.
pleasure. All right, bye.
Bye.
See yous.